Okay, welcome to our second podcast. People watching live or on YouTube. I'm uploading this on YouTube. First, welcome back, Gold. How you doing,
Glad
man?
to be here. Pretty great. Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
And then Mr. Deadly Sauce.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Welcome
yeah.
back. And then we got my brother Edik Plugs.
Plugs,
Plugs.
plugs, plugs.
All right, so on this episode we got not as much, but some pretty cool topics. All right, so I want to start off with Smash again, and this time it's about Kazuya. So there's been in some places Kazuya has been banned. Not a lot, but people are asking, how come it wasn't done before, and then it should be banned, it should not, and this and that. We went to a tournament, and I heard someone say, Kazuya was the first one that should have been banned because it doesn't take long to be broken compared to Steve that took a while to be exploited, and then this one's just a pickup, and then that's it. And then one of our friends, Go knows, he also got upset that tournament. It was kind of weird, and I was like, wait, I guess people are really upset of this character. So what do y'all think about this character potentially being banned in multiple places?
Who starts off?
Let's start off with gold, no?
Go.
Okay. I can start off. For me, it's kind of tough to talk about it because I frankly don't know much about Kazuya. I only know what I see. And what do I see? Oh, broken character, and gets you 0 to 100, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how easy it is to escape his combos. From the little I know is, oh yeah, when you're stunned, mix up your DI and you can dodge it, you can survive, blah, blah. But to my eyes that are very inexperienced against Kazuya, because I've only fought like one Kazuya and it was when it barely came out, to my inexperienced thoughts are that I think it's hard to say. I don't want to say he should be banned, but
Get good.
it's hard. It's hard for me to say. But ultimately, oh man, it's because I don't know the character enough, and I hate to say that he should be, but this is why I think he should be. Let me explain. Because any character in any game that has a way to get you from 0 to 100, or a way that gives you a absolutely guaranteed kill with little to no skill, like you just land one thing, oh, that's it. I think that's stupid, and that defeats the purpose of a skill game. This is what I think. Like, for example, let's put Pyramithra.
Yeah.
Should not be banned. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, she has good moves, but nothing is, I don't want to say guaranteed, but nothing is as easy as Kazuya. Because, again, Kazuya has the potential to get you a 0 to death very easily, and that's part of his kit, right? So that's why I am in favor of that reason. And I've only fought one Kazuya once in tournament, and take my word for it, I really was beating him. I was pretty much destroying him.
Yeah.
Almost 0 to death, and then he did one combo on me. I was using Dr. Mario. He did one combo, and he killed me, and I was at 0%. So that alone tells me that's not fair. People try to justify that, but it's just not fair. I mean, you can hear from the professionals. They think the same thing. It's just, how is that fair at all? Because you have one person working his butt off to beat you, and then one mistake, boom, that's it. That is why.
And it's consistent between, like, doesn't matter which character it is, he can kind of do that with whoever, like against whoever.
Pretty much. And then it's even worse for big hitboxes like K. Rool or Bowser,
yeah.
Donkey Kong. From what I know, because I know there's people who are like, no, he shouldn't be banned, just DI it, bro. I've tried DIing, and I've used big characters like K. Rool. I've thought about, okay, well, let me DI this way, and then at the end go this way, and I can't dodge it. So for that alone reason, I think it's unfair. When a character completely invalidates more than half the roster, that's more than enough reason to ban him. That's what I think. But again, I don't know too much about Kazuya. I've never even touched the character. Maybe if I touch him, I'll be like, oh, wow, this is kind of hard. It shouldn't be banned. So, my opinion, again, as someone who doesn't know much about Kazuya, just from what I've seen, I wouldn't be against him being banned. I think it wouldn't hurt the game. If the purpose is to make the game better, the scene better, probably would be better him being banned.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Christian doesn't really play that much, so he doesn't really know.
Well, I did watch recently a video from Hungrybox. He released a video not too long, like 2-3 days ago, talking about it. And pretty much he said in that video that everyone who is like top tier, well, top players in Ultimate right now, they all said basically to ban Kazuya and Steve. Like they didn't even discuss it, they didn't even talk about it. They just said ban. But they also said the competitive in them didn't want to, you know. And Tweak was the one who really mentioned that he wants to be able to overcome that obstacle. And the way I see it, because the way I see it, like I don't play, but I do watch a lot of past tournaments, like on my free time, even like during lunch at work. You know, I'll turn on YouTube and watch some recaps of some tournaments. And yeah, I mean, I do agree. Minecraft Steve and Kazuya are very dominating, but the difference that I see here is it's not the same as when Bayonetta was dominating in Smash 4. Because if you look at Japan, they're top tier players. They're not Kazuyas. They're not Minecraft Steves. Yeah. They're like I think I saw one. It was Falco and in grand finals. It was a Falco and I think a Captain Falcon. And I was like, what in the world? Like, or a Toon League. I don't remember who it was, but it's like it's less common in Japan to see that. I mean, they do have a different play style. I think that has to do with it as well. But I don't know. I don't think right now is the time to ban them. My opinion, but I'm not a player. You know what I mean? Because
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Beyond the summit, the champion. What was his name? He was Japanese or no? Animacon. What was his name?
Yeah.
Remember? What was his name? Akola. He's Steve, right?
Yeah, he was Team
Jump. Is he not the number one in the world, or is it? Do you know?
Brown. I mean, I would say he is, maybe. I mean, it's debatable, but I think, yeah, he could be like top 2 or maybe the best right now, or maybe.
I mean, I don't want to say that my Steve and Kazuya aren't broken, but I don't think they're to the extent of Bayonetta. You know, Smash 4. Like, in Smash 4, man, you saw Bayonetta, and it was just like everywhere. Like, and at the time I wasn't playing either way, but I saw it everywhere, and it was weird. Like, even in Japan, like, it was just dominating because it was so easy to use her. It was so easy to take advantage of her skill set, her moveset, and win. But right now, I don't see that with Minecraft Steve and Kazuya, because Arcola, he's really good, and he's using Minecraft, but when he doesn't use Minecraft, he's still good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's true.
He's still good.
It's not the character, it's the player, you're saying, right?
Yeah, like, I think right now, it might get to the point where, like, Kazuya and Steve are going to be the way they were, like the way it was with Bayonetta, but I don't know. I don't see it right now.
Yeah, so now we got my brother joining here. My other brother, Alex. What is this?
Oh, you can see it. It was a Smash PGR, but it was. Did you see it? I don't think it could have.
No, it just said
Yeah, it was just a rectangle.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, Kazuya could be a problem, and Steve as well. But I agree with Christian where I don't think it's to the point, you know, where you can't beat them, or it feels like you can't. You know, I mean, I played the same Kazuya that tournament, and yeah, I felt like where I had to work a little bit more, obviously, right? But I mean, I won that set, and it didn't feel like when I played on Smash 4 a Bayo that was like a pickup character Bayo, where it already felt unfair, even though that player doesn't really play the character that much, you know what I mean? Compared to now, if you pick up Kazuya or you pick up Steve, you're not gonna win automatically. You know, you still have to learn. Maybe with Kazuya, not as much as with Steve, but you know, I mean, it's hard to say, and I agree with what Tweak said. I did watch that. What Christian said, he said he thinks it is unfair or whatever, but the competitive in him doesn't want Kazuya's ban because he just wants to overcome that because he feels that he can and stuff like that compared to Bayo. But
quick question, Animacast.
What's up?
When you say you don't think he should be banned because like you played against him, right?
Yeah.
But are you thinking in terms of your character, or if I could use anyone in the roster, I still don't think he should be banned? Like if you were to choose, again, someone with a big hitbox,
yeah,
would you not change your mind? Like, okay, what's it? If it invalidates a certain character, you still don't think it should be banned? You know what I mean?
I mean, I think this game has too much characters that you could use. So even if your character does really bad, every character is you could use every character technically versus any matchup. So I think maybe not because like you have too much characters that could do so much compared to Smash 4 where you only had certain characters and they all had a ceiling and you can only use those top 10 or whatever characters and that's it. You know what I mean? Compared to this, you see so many variety. Like okay, maybe we saw it with the Skyj versus Riddles, best Kazuya versus the best Tsunoda, right? And it kind of felt like kind of evenish. They were like killing each other really early. So
very true.
I don't know. I think if you do really really bad, maybe do it like Tweak says, overcome it, and then maybe you just start beating every Kazuya even though it's a bad matchup technically, or you just pick up another character because the option is there.
I just don't know how hard it is to land that little thunder hit and to follow up.
Follow up with that combo, pretty much.
I'm assuming that's the reason why people want him banned, right? So that.
Yeah, it's a little bit, but not too hard. But
so it's not. So the combo isn't equivalent to like Bayonetta, where anytime she would hit you in the air, you're pretty much screwed. So it's not like that yet, pretty much.
Not
right?
yet, but not yet. And then the character has a lot of disadvantages, so that's a difference compared to Bayonetta. The recovery, you could edge guard him, you could keep him in the air and stuff like that.
Yeah, like because he's heavy and he has like a okay recovery, unlike Bayonetta, how like she can fly up from the side of the screen or whatever all the way back up.
His second jump is really bad too, Kazuya's. So he has some defaults basically, but he has a big advantage, I guess.
There's something I want to add, también. I know none of y'all play Melee, but for a long time, Falco and Fox were dominating a lot, and it's because of their moves shine. They both just and they're just their lag time, everything. They're fast. They dominate. They've been S tier since the game came out, since it was competitive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But just recently, Marth took Falco's spot, and right now it's competing with Fox's spot, and that's a game that's been out for 25 years. And you look at well, more like 20 years, but you look at Fox's move, the shine. It's a first frame move, and then invisible the second frame. You know what I mean? It's like it's such an overpowered move. Yeah. And it's such a fast character. It's smooth to play him, and this whole thing came out a while back ago, like 20XX, which meant like the perfect Fox moveset and player and this and that they were gonna perfect the style of play for Fox. And right now it's in competition with Marth. You know what I mean? Things change, players change.
Yeah.
But I think right now that's where Ultimate is at, where Steve and Kazuya are just gonna dominate until players like Skyj, are gonna come in and just destroy it. You know what I mean? Because everyone thought like Fox, Falco, the Spaceys, they're the best. There's no one else. Maybe Marth here and there, maybe Jigglypuff because of Hungrybox, and that's it. But like, there's never been another Jigglypuff like Hungrybox, so dominating and all that. It's just. There's some what do you call them, singularities here and there, But right now, Marth is just dominating Falco and Fox, and it's fighting for the #1 position. And that's a game that has no patches. Well, Ultimate has no patches anymore as well, but that's a game that's been out for 20 years. There's new players coming in. All the old top players, which they call the gods or the immortals, whatever, they're not playing as much anymore. I think the only one that's left is Mango, and he's still dominating with his Falco, but he struggles. Sometimes he has to switch to Fox because of Marth. You know what I mean? So it's like it's gonna change, and I think that's where Steve and Kazuya are at right now. Yes, they're really good, and it takes. I think Steve takes a lot of creativity to play, but I think just give it some time, and players like SkyJ who are really gifted and just know how to play their characters will take that spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely feels like it's kind of early to start banning them. Again, like Christian, like I do play, but I've never played. I played against Steve's and I played against a Kazuya, but never too much. So again, I don't really know how bad they are. Like Gold said, like Power and Mithra, how they're really annoying and they have really good moves, but they can't necessarily 0 to 100 you in one single move, or a string of moves starting with 1 all the time, 100% hit rate or whatever. But it doesn't, it doesn't feel like it's everywhere, like you were saying. It's everywhere yet. And I get it that people want to ban it before it gets to the point of Bayonetta and it gets really boring. But it definitely feels a little early, just a little bit, at least from the outside looking in, because it doesn't. Again, I see the stats and everything of who wins and everything, but it doesn't feel like it's everywhere yet. And again, he has a lot of flaws. I know Steve is really annoying, and he has that one mechanic right that's kind of broken.
Yeah, that's why they were banning.
Yeah, which that makes sense, because you can't really regulate that for somebody not to use that. So that obviously makes sense. But with Kazuya, I don't know. That one kind of threw me off when I heard that he was banned, because I know that he had that string that was really easy to kill with, but I never thought that he would be ban worthy just because of the limitations that he has either way, compared to Bayonetta and all that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Wanted to add up to Christian's statement about Melee. Yeah, I know about the Fox Shine and Falco Shine, but from my experience, I played very little Melee. It's extremely difficult to pull out, spamming Wave Dash Shine, it's really difficult. And on top of that, Marth can 0-death Fox. Captain Falcon can pretty much 0-death Fox. Almost anybody can 0-death Fox. So even though Fox and Falco do have a really good kit, more than half the roster can actually 0-death them, and it takes a lot of skill from what I've tried to pull that off with the Spaceys. And but you did bring up a good point though, because Kazuya, I think once the meta develops more, you can probably juggle him more or combo him a lot more, do a lot more strings. So I do maybe think that it might be too early for Kazuya, and I haven't seen any local threats and Steve to the point that I can't do anything yet.
Yeah.
But
and it's definitely frustrating because for a long time I didn't go to tournaments, and I went to one and I played one and I was like, man, this is so frustrating.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? But that's me not playing for a long time and then coming back into the competitive scene. I think if I had more time, I would have been able to see through the mistakes and see what I can improve on, because I didn't lose 2-0 to him. I lost 2-1. So it's I won at least one, and I don't know. And I'm looking right now at some tournament standings for Ultimate, and in only 2 tournaments I see a Steve. I don't even see Kazuya. I think he's banned already, is he?
In some places, yeah, not a lot.
Okay, so the one right now I'm looking at Wave number 4, the tournament, and that was in April 22nd. Yeah, that was in Tokyo. So there's a Pyramithra with Olimar,
Yeah.
And then runner up is Sora, Mega Man, and Ashik.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next one is also in Japan, and it's the same one, Shuton. And then second place is Maya, and Maya was using Game & Watch and Steve. So that's the first Steve that I see. The next tournament was Major Upset in April 1st and 2nd. And I was here in the US. Spargo won that with Cloud and Pyra. And then second place was Pyra and Marth. You know, and then the next tournament, Akola won. And he did use Steve, right? But second place was I think it was at Byleth? No. Well, it was Tweak. He used Diddy Kong. Yeah, it was Tweak. And then the next one it's Tokyo again. And first place is Maya, which with just Game & Watch. Second place, Sora, Mega Man, and Sheik. So it's like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like I do see a lot of Steves and Kazuyas, but I don't see it dominating as much as I saw Bayonetta.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if I look at Smash 4, there's 5 tournaments that I see right now. There's SmashCon 2022, SmashCon Fall Fest, SmashCon 2019, Umebara, Wii U, and DreamHack, and all of them except for the Japanese one, all those were in the U.S. except for Umebara.
Yeah.
All of them except the Japanese one have at least one player using Bayonetta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They all won first place, and then there's some in second place too. You know, so that's what I'm trying to get at. Like I don't see the domination in that. It is frustrating. I see it. Like I see the games, and I'm like, man, like if that was me, I would be like, what's going on? Like, what do I do?
Mhm.
But I just don't see them dominating right now, like they were, like Bayonetta was, and Bayonetta was never banned. You know?
Yeah.
Well, from what I remember, they never banned Bayonetta. They wanted to.
Initially. Yeah.
So
Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's too early. I don't think it's time for that. But we just got to keep hoping and seeing and just studying more matches like SkyJ's matches. You know, like seeing how he dominates against those type of characters. I mean, it might be unfair, but it's part of the game.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's with that. Let's see what happens. You know, let's see if they ban them or not or whatever. I mean, I'm still gonna be playing and I'm still gonna be trying to win versus those characters if they're there. You know. So
Yeah.
The next topic that I want to talk about was the Microsoft deal being blocked. They were trying to buy. I remember Gold talked about this where there's like companies. I mean, this is just Microsoft, right? But there's like companies trying to like buy everything, like control everything. You made something like that, a point, something like that. And on the gaming world, Microsoft is trying to do that where they're just trying to buy everything, or like these big companies, you know. And then, like you said, like you mentioned, where basically just control a lot. And so that was happening where they were trying to get Activision, Blizzard, the company that makes Call of Duty, which is a big company, big IP, and I don't know how much it's been a while lasting that stupid court case or whatever. Everyone, you have your PlayStation fanboys and your Xbox fanboys fighting and all that, and so they blocked it because of cloud streaming. The UK blocked it, that it was going to affect the cloud streaming if they owned Call of Duty, whatever, and so they got blocked, and then they're going to appeal supposedly. But what do you guys think about that, where Microsoft is, I see it as, instead of they're trying to cut like a corner, like instead of trying to make their own content, I guess they're trying to buy studios and then just we buy that instead of creating. Like we just buy it, make games, put it on our thing, buy it instead of creating. So what do y'all think about that?
Well, it feels like everything's pretty normal. I mean, like you did say, Call of Duty is like the biggest video game franchise. They sell. They're always in the top 5, regardless. Of what time of year it is. They're always going to be in the top 5 bestsellers pretty much every week, every month. But I don't know. Like you say, like it I feel like every company is doing that, except maybe Nintendo. But like Sony and Xbox, they're known for buying companies and using them. Like, you know, Sony with Naughty Dog, they bought them. Of course, they bought them. They were already making a lot of good games, but you know, they bought them and then they made, you know, like even better games for Sony. But you know, they bought them and stuff. And there's a lot of companies that are bought. So that kind of feels normal, but I do get, like, I mean, because again, Activision Blizzard is huge. You know, they have Call of Duty, they have Overwatch, they have Diablo, Hearthstone. Like, they have a lot of big games. Even Candy Crush. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like,
that's the one you're worried
game.
about.
Yeah.
That's the one you're worried about.
Yeah. Yeah. And the reason they blocked it is kind of weird, though. Like, like, they think they're gonna have like a streaming advantage, like over any other company for streaming games, which, like, technically it is true, but it's like a very small percent of gamers either way that actually use streaming every day and all that, you know?
Do you know the numbers?
I think. Well, I was watching a video and he said that I think they have like an 80% like streaming cap or whatever, you know, like. They use yours, but even then, it's like, what, like 5% of gamers actually stream games or something like that. He had said 2%, so it's even less. Yeah.
So 2% of all the gamers worldwide use cloud streaming.
Yeah.
But of that 2%, they use Microsoft Game Pass.
Yeah.
The 80% of them.
80%, right? Yeah, that's what I heard.
Of that 2%.
2%, so it's even lower than I thought. So. They're not technically wrong, but that's still kind of a weird reason to block it, considering how small the market for streaming is anyways. I feel like this block specifically kind of doesn't make sense, because Sony still has majority of the market for gaming either way, so they're already winning, and this might affect that, but like that's kind of good though, right? Like, competition is always better, and I feel like if Xbox or Microsoft try to buy anything other than this after this, like, you know, like in 2-3 years or something, that was like even half as big as this, then I feel like that would make sense to be able to block it. But even the reason they blocked it is still kind of loose, like they're kind of pushing it with that, you know. Because it's not like their reasoning is that they're gonna have some kind of unfair market share in the whole circle of gaming, because Sony already has that. So it does feel really loose, and if they try to appeal it, there's a possibility that it might actually go through either way. But I don't know. I don't think they should have blocked it. I think it should have just gone through and then see where things go. And then, you know, try to create different games with whatever IPs they have and all that. Because either way, they've kind of, I mean, they've shown in a lot of different ways that they kind of do mess up companies after they buy them.
Yeah.
And a lot of different, you know, IPs. Like, they've done that a lot.
Yeah.
343, bro.
Sucks.
343. Oh.
Rare, Banjo. They ruined Banjo.
343, yeah. They did. Like, you know.
Halo was so disappointing, man.
Yeah, and like Halo has been kind of like going downhill since then. Like, they do have a track record of that.
Yeah.
But the thing is that Activision Blizzard is, in a way, kind of worse than them in the whole scope of gaming, you know? Like, there's a lot of controversies that they have. So, a lot of people were hoping that this would, like, fix them and make them, you know, great again. You know, like, new leaders, new management. Because they're not, I mean, yeah, they messed up other franchises by doing dumb stuff and having companies do things that, you know, like, they're not experts at. Like, why would you buy them for that, you know? Like, Rare, like, they bought them to make Connect games. And that's all they did for, like, a while, just make Connect games. And it's like, you know, like, they made Banjo-Kazooie and all that. Like, they made a lot of really good games. And all they did is use them for Connect. But it's Call of Duty, you know, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, like, they're huge. Like, I don't know. I mean, again, it's a company, so who knows, maybe they could have bought them and messed it all up. But it's also a huge investment. So I don't think they would even try to mess that up at all. So it seemed like it would be a good thing. But you know, I'm pretty sure they are gonna try to appeal it, and then they'll have good reasons to like have it go through either way. But then again, you never know. You know, it might not go through, and then Activision Blizzard is just left there to kind of just fight for itself after all of this and all that. Because obviously Microsoft's gonna be good. Like they're gonna be like, oh well, you know, shit sucks, but you know we still make $1 trillion a year or whatever. So it kind of doesn't matter to them. But I guess we'll see. I mean, what do y'all think? Like, you think it deserves to be blocked or what?
I do agree that it's kind of too early, but kind of better to be safe, you know, because we see what Microsoft's trying to do. Is trying to just be a monopoly. But if it is too early, how do we know it won't be too late eventually, you know? So, I mean, I think we all know where they're trying to be headed, so it's better to just block it now. Or stop the monopoly now.
Yeah, they're trying to monopolize the gaming industry, especially because they're not right now. They're not in a good spot. I think like their only title launch last year was supposed to be Halo, you know, like
And
their
maybe, like,
major
Forza.
AAA and Forza. For Forza, it's like a every year release. You know what I mean? Like
FIFA.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But like Halo, dude, like we were supposed to get Halo after so many years, and like I was so excited, I was so hyped, and then when I played it, like I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. It was such a bad game. I still played it because I was like I wanted to have hope. I played it competitive. I even reached like top 5% on ranked. You know, I was Onyx. Like I was grinding on that game. But man, like I would always end the night frustrated because of like I would get disconnected because of the servers, and then I would get banned, and I would lose points, and then I was always Onyx, you know, 5%, and then if I got banned, I would lose those points, and I would go back to like Diamond. I'm just like, dude, what's going? Like, it's not even my fault. Like, it's your servers, and it would happen like all the time. There was a lot of latency. It felt like after 6 months, it just felt like a still game. Like they didn't add anything. They didn't add maps. It was always like the same 5 rotation maps.
Yeah.
You know, it was just a disaster. So it's like, I think what they're trying to do now is just get those other companies to start making those games for them.
Get a big jump, basically.
Yeah, and get that back. You know, get back the status that they had, because they used to make good games. You know.
Yeah.
I remember on the 360 they had Gears of War,
360,
they had
the original
Halo,
Xbox.
yeah, you know, Halo. What other games? Can't even think of the top of my head. But you know, by Halo and Gears of War, man, like those games were competing all the time with Call of Duty, you know, in sales and having users and all that. But I think right now, that purchase was going to make them a lot of money, not just because of Call of Duty or Overwatch and all that, but later on, just making it Xbox exclusive, but also all the revenue that Candy Crush brings in. You know, that's another thing that I think that's why the UK banned it. I think they used the excuse of dominating the cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I mean, if you think about it, the numbers. If you just think about numbers, you know, the percentages, yeah, you're like, whoa, yeah, they're dominating. They're what do you call it? They're a monopoly to this industry, you know, this part. But I think they're just using that as an excuse because Candy Crush makes a lot of money. They have 250 million users each month, you know, and loyal users that log in every month. That's a lot. That's a lot of people, you know. That's a lot of money, and then you're not even counting the people who actually spend money on it. You know what I mean? Like the revenue from that. So it's like that's a lot. So I don't know. I think that was the point of blocking it. I don't really think it was because they're gonna, I guess, control the cloud gaming space, because it's such a niche. It's such a niche industry. Like, I don't even think any of us play cloud. I don't know. I don't.
I don't
you
even
know?
know anyone.
I don't know anyone either.
Yeah.
You know, like I've tried it and I don't like it. You know, I have my stuff. I can play it. You know, good thing I have my stuff. I see the reasons why they're trying to go into cloud, but it's just, to me, it doesn't seem worth it. And I don't know anyone who uses it, but I don't know. I think they're just using that as an excuse to block all that stuff. But
Yeah.
Can't beat him, buy him.
yeah.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I don't really care for Call of Duty, so I was never affected by it, you know, whether it went or it didn't. I was just tired of seeing all that, debating. Every chance they were saying back and forth, I'm like, okay, I mean, I guess I'm over here eating good and playing my Nintendo games, you know. But
Well, it's funny about that too, because if you look at Minecraft, I mean, Minecraft is the biggest game ever, you know?
Yeah.
And they bought it, and Minecraft is still everywhere. They still make new Minecraft games that come out everywhere.
Yeah, they let them do what they want.
Yeah, like all the updates are all consistent, whether it's Xbox, PC, even Switch, PlayStation or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it feels like it would be more like that. Like if, like,
Yeah.
I mean, they literally did sign contracts with like Nintendo and a bunch of other companies, even other cloud companies. Like, we're gonna put Call of Duty on your service or on your system. So it feels like it would be more like that. Like, yeah, they would buy, Call of Duty and Activision Blizzard, all that. But I feel like they would mostly keep everything the same and then just add their resource to it. And then, like y'all said, grab their like resources and make Halo, Gears of War, or new games just better, because they obviously have the talent. Like Call of Duty, whether you play it or not, like it is a huge game. Overwatch, like they're all really huge competitive shooters, and just huge games that they have. So it makes sense that they would just use their resources and then just kind of also let them do their own thing, like how they've always been doing. Same with like with Minecraft. Just instead of grabbing it and changing it, they just grabbed it, kept it the way it is, and then kept adding things, made new games, all that. So I don't know. I mean, it is a weird though, because it is a huge company and it is a lot of money. So it could be that they're striving towards like a monopoly to own everything, but they're both kind of just buying a lot of developers either way. Like Sony's buying a lot of different developers too.
They bought Bungie.
Yeah, they just bought Bungie. They bought like a few. They've done more smaller ones, but they bought quite a few already. But I mean, either way, like even if they are going for a monopoly, I mean, they're nowhere near it. So I just feel like if this went through, then the next one most likely would have not gone through if it was as big as this or even half as big.
Yeah.
But who knows what they really thinking over there.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if Alex has anything to say about it. Alex?
I kind of came in midway. What was it? The topic?
It was just Microsoft trying to buy Activision Blizzard and they blocked it. It's been like a few months already.
Microsoft tried to buy it and who blocked it?
The UK.
Some kind of UK thing. Regulators.
Regulators.
British.
Yeah. I just feel like... What's up?
I'm just going to say, I'm not too knowledgeable on the topic, so I can't really speak too much on it.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were going to spend a lot of money on it, and, like, the only argument that I have, like, it was like, a few months trying to do this deal in court, and I'm like, at least for me, I feel like Xbox doesn't have content. That's how I feel about it, whether, I don't really care for the shooters. That's the point. That's the thing. I really care for that. I more care of like what can you offer? Your Xbox. What can you offer that's different from these other two consoles that I play? And then they only have Game Pass, where it has all the games that it's on other consoles. So like, okay, what else? And then it's been like years where they haven't had exclusives. Last year they didn't have any exclusives at all, you know. And then maybe the year before that, I can't remember either. So now this year they're finally getting some, and then they're coming out like crap. You know, you see Redfall coming out. I made a video about it. It's gonna be 30 frames. It's not ready. You know, they know it's not ready, and they're still gonna release it, whatever. And then you have Starfield pushed back. It's not a good sign. And then like all these games, right, where there's not many, and I feel like instead of using that money, they could have used it to create games. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, I see what I see the difference on these three, because they're always going back and forth. They only treat Xbox versus PlayStation, but Nintendo's on the outside. Like they don't even look at them when they're the ones making the most content. Like Nintendo, whatever you want to say, graphic wise or whatever, or hardware wise, they're the masters of content. You know, just this month we had like DLC and games, you know, like Advanced Wars, and then we had the Xenoblade DLC, and then we had Fire Emblem DLC. We had a lot of content. Next month we're gonna have Legend of Zelda, and then, you know, it's gonna keep going, Pikmin 4 and stuff like that, you know. And that's the ending of the Switch. That's the point. Like, it has more content at the end than the beginning of Microsoft and Sony. You know, Sony has some content, but not nearly as much. You know, they're still lacking as well. So it's like, you know, debate on that. Like, why are y'all debating on who's gonna get Call of Duty? Not forget that. Like, debate on, you need more games. You get a system, you have no games. You know what I mean? On both sides. So it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I don't really care for this deal. I was just like, I wanted it to finish whether they won or not, you know, so that way we can move on and actually like start making the games, you know. Okay, they get Call of Duty, it's fine. All right, now make those, you know, those games that you had. I mean, they have great IPs on Xbox. They had, you know,
Fable.
Yeah, Fable. What is it, Perfect Dark? Like, they have other games that, hey, you know, why don't you just make those? Like, create Mass Effect. Like, come on, like, you know what I mean? Where's the new stuff? Like, just
I would
bring
love
that.
another Gears of War.
Gears of War, yeah, or Banjo. Like, Banjo. What was the fighting game they had? Killer Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Killer
You know?
Instinct.
So like, where's that at? Like, there hasn't been nothing for years. So that's my only gripe that I have versus all this debate.
Have y'all heard of the company BlackRock?
BlackRock?
Yeah.
No.
I've heard of it. I don't know if it's true, but supposedly they own everything. Like, by everything, I mean Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, everything. Like, literally everything. Exxon, I'm watching right now, Nvidia, JP Morgan. Like, they own the world. And I feel like this UK maybe trying to prevent that from Microsoft, but I wonder how come they didn't prevent that from BlackRock. But so yeah, I don't want to get too off topic, but basically all these companies are competing against themselves because they're all owned by the same owner, and it feels like Microsoft's trying to do the same thing. You know, if they buy everything, there is no competition. But this is very scary though. What BlackRock is doing is very scary.
They do
BlackRock is an investment.
Yeah.
Company.
They invest
It's not
into
a-
these companies.
Oh, okay.
But
So
they
it's
have the biggest investments in all the biggest companies in the world. Am I right?
Exactly.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, you're right.
You can own Apple. You can buy a stock in Apple and say you own Apple. You own a fraction of Apple, I should say.
Yeah.
It's just I just looked at it really quick, and yeah, it's a multinational investment company. It shows that they own it because like the way it works is like if BlackRock is, let's say for example, just to keep it simple, they fund their projects and investments 60%. BlackRock owns 60% of the company. Even though they're not doing the products, they're not doing anything, it's because they put in the money as an investment to fund all the projects. They own 60%, right?
Yeah.
So they can do that to several companies depending how much money they have. They can invest in so many, like they can own 50%, they can own 40, 30, 20, like anybody can own a share of a stock, and that makes you an owner of the business without running the business. So
Yeah.
that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I've heard of a lot of companies that do that. Like, they get like 30% of this company, 20% of this, 50% of that, and then they make like millions of dollars just from those little, little investments. Even though 50% of Apple is still a lot,
It's
but
They put a lot of money into it.
Yeah.
They
just to
invest
get it
in
back.
fun, but
And they
it
have
doesn't
a-
mean they control it though. You know, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
They
there's
do
still
have a
other,
say on the table, though.
they do have a say. They do, but there's other owners who have say as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not a full. That's why
Monopoly.
they don't really call it a monopoly. It's just
Oh.
investing. But I
Yeah.
mean that's a good point to bring up. You know.
Yeah. Let's move on to the next topic. The Mario movie success. It's almost at 1 billion. So
Wow.
It's crazy. Since
what-
Frozen 2,
Yeah.
something like that, right?
yeah. Well, I
Like-
think yeah, since Frozen 2, yeah. I think
Yeah.
that's the highest animated. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
To Disney, yeah.
yeah, and it's funny because remember when before the movie came out, there was a lot of negative reviews of the everywhere.
adults.
Yeah, no, a lot of negative reviews, and then it's becoming one of the highest, if not the highest selling animated movie. But what do y'all think about the success of the Mario movie for the first time? Mario, Nintendo making a movie. It's weird, but you know, there you go.
Like it.
I don't want to get too off topic, but I'm really glad that Nintendo is beating Disney. And again, I don't want to get too off topic, but
Yeah.
Disney's very weird, pushing weird agendas to little kids, and I'm glad that at least Nintendo beat them in that, you know. But, yeah.
Dang. Gold is racist to Black Little Mermaid.
No, you said that. No, that's not what I meant by trying to push an agenda. You know what I mean by that. No, but if you want to talk about that, I did see. Hold on, let's talk about that real quick because I did see something very funny. How people are like, "Oh, why are you complaining about the Little Mermaid being this race? If it's just acting." And then they put a fake movie, Martin Luther King, and there was a white guy. They put another fake movie, Rosa Parks, and it was a white person. You see the comparison? It's just acting, right? Why would you care if Rosa Parks is white? Why would you care if like this person, you know, they get the wrong race? But I'm getting too off topic. I'm really happy Nintendo beat Disney. Great. That's a whole other podcast in its own.
Yeah. there's like one podcast on itself.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah, I think it's good.
I was joking, Gold. Don't worry.
Oh. Oh man, well, you got me.
You got me.
Nah, man. Honestly, like, ever since I had my daughter, like, I watch a lot of kids show. I watch a lot of kid movies,
Yeah.
and like, there's some that are just like, yeah, I mean, they're for kids, but they're just not like, they're just there to catch the kids' attention and not really like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's not very productive, I guess you could say. And I can say the same thing about this one, but I think the difference with this one that I've noticed is that it's a lot of fun, you know. But when I've been watching so many kids things that like there's some that are just not even fun. It's just colorful. You know what I mean? It's not fun. It's not. It doesn't keep your attention. It's just meant to be colorful. But like this one was a lot of fun. You know, the whole time I kept thinking, man, I should have brought my daughter. She would have loved this movie. Like, I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of people that had gripes with it was that, like, oh, well, I really didn't, like, the story moved too fast and this and that. It's a kid's movie. You know, it's Illumination. They made Despicable Me, which is a kid's movie. Yeah, it's Nintendo. Nintendo's always about family friendly, and they're not gonna dive into a super deep story, you know. Even like in the Mario games, it's not super deep. It's just like, oh, let's go save the princess. You know what I
they don't
mean?
have-
The first cutscene, the princess is kidnapped by Bowser. You gotta go save her, and it's like 5 minutes of the first game, the whole gameplay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now let's go save. You know, play levels and this and that. So, I don't know. I thought it was really fun. It was a good movie. It was funny. I loved. I was so skeptical about the cast at first. Seth Rogen and even Chris Pratt, but I think in the end it worked out pretty well. You know, it was really funny. There was some cringe moments, but it's just funny. You know, they're just trying to have fun with it, and I think they did. And I, you know, honestly, I gave it like a 10 out of 10 for a kids movie.
How about you, Flux, Animacon? Thoughts on the movie?
I liked it. I thought it was fun. That was good. Yeah. It's just, I mean, I don't know. Like, it was good, and I enjoyed it. But it wasn't like, the best animated movie I've seen. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
like, what's it called? It wasn't like Wall-E or Despicable Me, while like it has like character development and really like touching moments and stuff like that. Like again, it is a kids movie, so and obviously like you don't need that to be successful as a kids movie.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it crossed already a billion, right? Like it already made that much in the box office or whatever. Like it's like really successful. But the only one thing that I'm kind of afraid of is if like they keep going with like the same I guess style, like just like Mario 2 is exactly the same but more. And like it'll be fun at first, and it'll be all like it's fun. It's a fun movie, but if they keep trying to making like the same thing over and over again, then it's just gonna get boring, and it's gonna be, whatever.
Yeah.
So it'd be cool if like obviously this is the first one, and it was kind of like a risk because you don't really know if it's gonna be successful or not. But now that they know that it's really good, I hope they invest more into like making it like not just like really like Christian, to like a really colorful, fun, children's movie. I hope it has like actual story and stuff like that. But then again, if it doesn't, like it'll still be fun. It'll still make a lot of money. But it would be cool if it had character development. Like really touching moments like Wall-E and stuff like that. Where it's like that, like this is a kids movie, but it doesn't feel like a kids movie in some ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they just move forward doing more of that.
I was telling Animacon that I think it would be insane if they make like a part 2, and then like K-Rool saves Bowser, they team up, and then now it's on DK Island.
DK,
That'd be insane, bro. And then imagine they bring like eventually Ganondorf, like all the villains. So, dude, that'd be insane.
They smash.
That'd be crazy, yeah.
I'm just happy that we finally got a video game movie that's successful, and
Extremely successful.
yeah, and and it gives more openings for either not only Nintendo, but you never know, like PlayStation or other companies, video game companies, do their own. Kind of like the show The Last of Us, how even the Xbox president said, we wanted Halo to be like that or whatever. Like they're looking at stuff successful.
Yeah.
What people like.
Block that.
Like that. Yeah. So it's
UK
like,
blocked it again.
so it's like, if Nintendo makes another one, which maybe, now that they saw success, like, oh, maybe we can make, a Kirby or a Legend of Zelda or Metroid or whatever. Like, they have so many good IPs.
That would be sick.
Metroid would be sick. And that's what, going back to Ed's point, like, I think Mario is not the time and place to make that serious type.
I agree.
Because it's never been serious.
Yeah, and like even the games aren't like that. So why would you expect the movie to be like that? Yeah.
So I think like it would be more fitting for Legend of Zelda or
Metroid.
Dude, Metroid.
Maybe Kirby, like maybe Kirby too.
Yeah. That would be really sick.
Yeah.
That would make sense. Yeah, have like a really nice story with Metroid. Like that would be really cool. Yeah. I would love that.
Like, dude, that would be insane. But yeah, I think it was well made. It was made the way it was like I expected it to, and it was really like how you said it's kind of I guess like in a sense like relief that we finally got something that it's directly related to like video games and it's good, and I think the past time that I felt that, and the only time, was with the Last of Us show. Like that show, I know it changed a lot of things, but it still felt so true to the game and different at the same time, And it, I wish Xbox can do the same. They ruined the Halo show and the game.
I was about to say that. Remember what Sin said about the Halo show that on the very first episode? He took off his helmet.
Oh my god.
That's crazy.
That's true.
That's funny.
Okay, well, I don't know if Alex has anything. Do you have anything, Alex? Or no.
I mean, I expected the movie to do really well with how they were marketing it. I mean, they had directs and everything. No other movie ever has that. We have trailers, but we don't have directs dedicated to it.
That's true.
And you know, there were. It's not like the reason why I knew it was going to be successful and never doubted it was because it's not like they just released a trailer and that's it. It's like they also got feedback from those directs and made changes. Like Chris Pratt, like a lot of people are complaining about it, and when the movie came out, it sounded a lot better than it did on the first trailer. Like
Yeah.
along the way that they were making the movie, they were making the adjustments from the feedback. It didn't take like how Sonic got bullied into changing the character design for them to take that feedback, right? It kind of just here's a direct, and then basically social media gave them all the feedback. They made the adjustments. They're like, all right, this is good, this is bad. Let's throw this away. All right, let's make these adjustments. And then a new direct came out. And same thing. Like it sounded the new direct, like there was a huge difference in how good it was from the first direct to the second direct. And what other movie has that where, hey, wake up at 7 a.m. There's a direct coming up for this movie? Nobody fucking does that. Like nobody wakes up early to watch a trailer,
Yeah.
you know, or nobody stays late to watch a trailer, whatever time it was. So I already knew it's gonna be successful just because how Nintendo does it. They're not dumb. They're smart. They do their marketing really smart. Like
Yeah, that's
like
true.
hey, they announced it like, hey, we're gonna go live at this time. And I mean, if you looked at the YouTube lives, Twitch, and everything, they had a shit ton of viewers. They had a lot.
Yeah.
And
You know, that actually might be a game changer. Maybe other companies will do the same before they release like a trailer or a movie. That's
yeah,
Yeah,
something like
Do it
that.
the right way.
It feels very interactive in a way, you know. So, like I especially felt that with the Tears of the Kingdom trailer 3. You know how he was texting me, and I was texting my brother-in-law, like, oh, it's about to start, like,
Yeah.
I'm so excited, let's do it, let's watch it, blah, blah, blah. And when we watched it, after we watched it, like we were texting each other, dude, it looks so sick, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like, you know, like we were so excited and all that, and it's just like it feels more like personal.
Connected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Connected and personal. So yeah, I think Nintendo's doing a good thing there, and like Alex said, I think that's he brings up that point where that's why they were going to be successful, because they really took feedback from the audience and they were making it personal. And I agree. That's
Yeah. And like even like when Spider-Man came out, the one the newest one, dude, that trailer was over and over. I didn't even want to watch the movie. I was like, fuck this trailer. I've watched this trailer like 20 times already, right? It gets you to the point where like you're just seeing the repetitive things over and over and over. And that's how many trailers are. It's like I still went to watch it. I still was excited to watch it, and I still liked it. But just leading up to it, if it was any other movie or any other type of character, I probably would have been like, I'll just watch it when it comes out, because like I don't know, just the marketing on it, it gets really boring to when it's all repetitive. And Nintendo didn't do that with this movie. Everything was different. Everything was unique. Everything was personalized leading up to the movie.
And you know what? I never saw a trailer for the Mario movie, only when it was like on the direct or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like it was.
That was like the first time they showed them, right? Direct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a direct.
And then like I never saw it as an ad. Like I saw it as a YouTube video from the YouTube channel Nintendo
Yeah.
Direct. Like if I want like a suggested video. That's
Yeah.
the only time I saw those. Like I wasn't blasted all the time like, oh, come watch the Nintendo movie. Come watch the Nintendo. You know what I mean? And if I did see something the Super Mario movie, if I did see something related to it, it was like its own separate video, and it was usually like YouTubers interviewing or playing Mario Kart with the cast and stuff like that. But I never saw it advertised like current movies are, where like I'm watching a YouTube video, and like let's say I watch like 3 YouTube videos and there's like 4 ads in each one. It's always gonna be the movie trailer. You know what I mean? Of a movie, and that gets annoying. You're just like,
Exactly.
like, get out of my face. Like I know it's coming out, but like, yeah, they're coming in, you know, like,
I really don't want to watch it no more.
yeah.
I'm not gonna watch it just because you posted it 5 times in a row.
I already saw the trailer 5 times. That's enough.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was saying. Like Nintendo didn't do that. They did really well in their marketing, and it was like everybody wanted to watch it for their own reasons. It wasn't just like, hey, Mario's coming out, let's all go watch it. It's like, dude, like Donkey Kong came out. Some people love Donkey Kong. Some people like Mario. They like Peach. They like everything was personalized, and people just enjoyed the movie that way. Like you even got Barnum to come out to the movies. That man never goes to the movies. Like
The last thing I wanted to say was that about this was that when they make a video game adaptation, just like Nintendo and Naughty Dog did, they need to be hands-on. They need to be hands-on, just like they did it, because look what the result is. So like, I think people are gonna see this. Companies that trying to make video games or whatever, like a movie or a show, they're gonna look at this like, okay, we need to actually be hands-on because it's working out like this or whatever, you know. And then one last thing, Bonin said, don't forget about Arcane. So.
Oh
Arcane,
yeah,
the show. So
Arcane was good.
Arcane was
animated
good.
show, animated.
And it's the
show,
same, like you said, right? Like they were really hands-on with it,
Yeah.
with Arcane, and like it's so like lore accurate and everything.
Yeah, and what helps with Arcane, what helped a lot with Arcane is that League already does their own like animations, like for characters and stuff like that, and they do like a little story or a little preview for a new character that's coming out, and like I think that helped a lot. But like, yeah, Arcane was really good.
Arcane was good.
Alright, so the next topic I wanted to talk about was Mega Man Battle Network selling 1 million in 2 weeks, and it's the fastest selling Mega Man game.
Damn, really?
Yes. The fastest
crazy.
one before that was
take off $60. whatever number you got, take off 60.
yeah, so the fastest before that was Mega Man 11, the newest one before this.
Oh yeah,
the newest one basically. And I was like, okay, I know I told Gordon, I told most of y'all, like, I'm telling y'all, this is gonna take off. And then they were skeptical. I know Gold was skeptical, like, hey man, you know. And I was like, even today, like, in it, if you see it, it's not in stores, the physical, and or online. You can't buy it online or in stores. Only sometimes they're available, but you know, all physicals, because obviously Capcom didn't think, you know, we're gonna make a lot of copies, you know, because why would we make a lot? We don't know if it's gonna sell, whatever. And it actually sold out. So now I think they said they're gonna make some more, but you know, if not, that's gonna be it, and they're gonna become rare, right? The physical copies. But you know, it was topping the Nintendo eShop. It was topping like all these other charts, and then in Japan specifically, it was on number 1 on the most selling on that week. So you know, I think out of all the Mega Man collections, you know, this was the highest one, and I mean, not only the collection, but a game as itself. So it just shows that Battle Network is a really, you know, beloved franchise that a lot of people, you know, just wanted to get that collection out, and people are saying, you know, now we need a sequel, or the Star Force. I never played those, but the Star Force ones were on the DS, I think, to make a collection of that. But I mean, honestly, at this point, they're gonna make something. They're gonna make something, because 1 mil.
Yeah.
There's the game that came out on that same era, and it's an RPG game, well known, right? Or it's niche, but you know, it's known, and it actually it's doing well. But I'm like, Mega Man just outsold it, and I'm like, a new, like, you know, collection, it's outselling a new game. Like, it's kind of crazy. But what do you guys think about it?
I hope they make a new one.
Yeah.
That's it.
dude. I didn't expect, honestly.
I didn't expect it either.
Me either.
I
Gonna
didn't-
be another Mario Super Strikers, bro.
yeah, me too. I was like, oh, everyone knows the game, and they're like, oh, if we get another one, like it'll be sick and this and that. Everyone get it. But the thing is, like, what I've seen with Mega Man collections, they always release one for every console. You know, they have some for PS4, they have some for PC and the PS5. You know, but it's just Mega Man. It's just the regular Mega Man collection. And I was like, I don't know, like it is different, and it is. To me, it's the better Mega Man playstyle for me. You know, I just don't really like the regular Mega Man, unless it's the Mega Man X titles.
Yeah.
Those are fun to me because you can play as Zero, or you know, it's just more. It's different. It's a lot different. So, I don't know. I really didn't think it was gonna sell that good. I'm glad it did. You know, it just shows that there's still a lot of support for Mega Man. Mega Man is such a cool character. It has good music. It has good aesthetics. Like, and I hope to make another one so it can keep growing. And and I'm saying that as of someone who really doesn't like to play these games, who hasn't even bought Mega Man Collection. It's nice to see these type of games succeed. And surpass my expectations, because it just shows that there's an audience for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Alright, for the next topic, Tears of the Kingdom hype. It's becoming crazy. Like, every time I go to YouTube, there's a lot of videos, people talking about Tears of the Kingdom, and it's everywhere, man. I mean, I said in my video that I don't see another game, like, I don't see another game being this big anytime soon. I mean, years from now, because like the hype is crazy, man. I mean, I see it everywhere. So, and like I said on my video, even in between my circle of friends with y'all, like I showed Gold the trailer, and he got hyped. He hasn't played a Zelda game in years. You know what I mean? And it's like, what the heck? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't know, man. And it's everywhere. I'm excited for it. It's coming out soon, almost. Like 2 weeks or a week and a half or something like that. So I'm excited for it. And who's gonna get it?
I already pre-ordered.
Yeah.
Or you did pre-order it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I already did it too.
Yep. Did you watch the previews?
I have yet to pre-order, but to add on what Animacast said, probably the last Legend of Zelda game I ever played was A Link to the Past. That was more than 20 years ago. So, yeah, when Breath of the Wild came out, I didn't care for it. I didn't care for it at all. And then Animacast showed me the trailer for Tears of the Kingdom. Dude, I thought it was one of the best trailers I've ever seen. And I'm actually still considering getting it. I'll probably will. I don't know if I'll pre-order it, but just because of that trailer, I'm like, damn, I do want to get it. It was a really nice trailer. And seems like an amazing game, really.
It's good.
Yeah,
man. I'm so hyped for that game, dude. Like, I swear, I watched the trailer number 3. I watched it like 50 times, man.
Dude, same.
It's just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
And then
watching reactions.
Yeah, and then, dude, I'm not like trying to spoil the game for myself, like seeing these previews that people like, because there's some YouTubers or like IGN and was it GameSpot, like they've been able to play a demo of it.
Yeah.
But like I just skipped to the end to see like what they give it, And so far the lowest score that I've seen is a 9 out of 10, and they're always saying that it's like it's way better than Breath of the Wild. It's so much different. I'm like how can a game be so much better and so different? But it's the same world, you know what I mean? It's the same play style. Like how? Like I want to see it. I want to let me get it, please. Give it to me now. Like I'm so excited and like I've never been. I wasn't really like a huge Legend of Zelda fan. Like I did play Ocarina of Time. My favorite was Twilight Princess until I played Breath of the Wild, and like Gold, I wasn't really into Breath of the Wild. But when I got a Switch, I was like, well, the game's out and people saying it's pretty good. But once I started playing it, I couldn't let it go, man. Like I couldn't. And the fact that a game like that it's not really my playstyle, my favorite type of game, just had me hooked. Like I can't wait for Tears of the Kingdom. Like it's hearing and seeing all these reviewers say that it's better than that, and like something that doesn't like just stuck with me in one of those reviews is that it wasn't. I think it was IGN. One of their reviewers said that they were doing a puzzle, and there was one way to do it, but he did it a different way, and it was creative. You know what I mean? Like he did it a completely different way, and it worked. It worked the puzzle, but then the Nintendo employee came up to him and is like, you could have done it a different way. This is how it's supposed to be, and he showed him, and it was a lot easier. But he was like, it felt like I can do things my way, and feel right, not feel like I'm breaking the game, not feel like I'm exploiting something. Like it just felt like I'm playing the game my way. And he also like was fighting a boss. And he's like, man, this boss was hard, and like I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do it in that time limit that they gave me to play. But he said like I failed, but I still had fun failing, you know. And that's just something that just stuck to me. I'm like, I love when games make you feel like that. You know, Metro Dread made me feel that way. Like, it's a hard game once you start playing it on hard and Dread. Like, it's so hard, but like, I had fun. I have fun playing it. I literally played Dread 4 times. I already passed it 4 times. You know, like it's a fun game to me. Like, it's just like it really caught me, and like, even though I kept dying, even though it was hard, I had fun, you know, failing. And I think like just hearing that from a reviewer just kind of like locked me into tears. Like, that's when I decided to do a pre-order, because I was like, I'll just wait a little bit, then I'll get it. I was still gonna get it, but just later on. But I was like, when he said that, pre-order, locked in. Like,
Yeah.
it's my game.
That's gonna be really cool too. How I mean, obviously, I don't know how it's gonna sell. I mean, it's gonna sell really good, right? But like, even just in our group, like, a lot of people are getting it. Like, everybody is kind of gonna go through the same way, but at the same time, it's gonna be completely different. They're like, yeah, like, I beat this boss. This is how I did it. And then someone's like, what the heck? Like, this is how I did it. You know, everyone's gonna be talking about the same experiences, and you know, whichever way they experienced it, because it's a huge open world. So everybody's gonna experience the game differently, and it's gonna be really cool. Like, everyone's just kind of talking about how they experience, you know, this boss or this temple, if they have temples or shrines or whatever, you know. Because, like Christian was saying, like, I remember when Breath of the Wild came out, I was like, okay, like, it looks cool, like, but, you know, I wasn't really interested in playing anything big, open world, or anything like that, you know. And previously, the last Zelda I played was Ocarina of Time también, and that was fun. I was like, you know what? When I bought it, I was like, I'm gonna give it a try. Like, I have a few days off or whatever. Like, I'll give it a try, see how the game is. And if I don't like it, I can just resell it or whatever, you know. And I bought it on the Wii U because that's all I had. I didn't have a Switch yet.
Yeah.
When it first came out, and I was like, I'm gonna just try it. And then I remember back then I was working at Macy's, so I had 3 days off, but I could pick up a shift. And I was like, well, I have 3 days off, but I'm not gonna have 3 days off in a row. Like, I'm gonna play this game one day and then, you know, pick up a shift or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started playing it, you know, I played it for 3 days straight. And I just couldn't let it go. And it was weird because, again, like, I wasn't expecting it to be like that, like that good, because it's just like, oh, another open world. Like, it's probably gonna be like Ocarina of Time, like, you know, kind of open world, but you kind of just, you know, do missions either way and stuff. But no, like, it was way different than I expected. It was so much better. And then, like Christian was saying, I didn't watch a lot of previews, only a little bit, but, like, from what I did see and hear, yeah, like, it's the same world, but it is so much more different, and so many new things to discover, so many different ways to, like, traverse it, and that's what made the first game so good. Like, you know, you can climb this tree and then rest a little bit, and then climb the mountain, rest a little bit, and then, you know, kind of like make your way up a mountain if you really wanted to. Or, you know, you can wait till you have this ability to do it a lot faster. You know, like, that sandbox about that game made it so much fun. You know, being able to, you know, succeed in these different different challenges in so many different ways. That's what made it so good. And then hearing that this game is like that, in the same world but different, and, like, with more things to do, it just sounds so amazing. Like, I can't wait to explore it and then discover so many different things like I did with the first one. Because, again, like I was not expecting it to be so good, and then now it's, like, my favorite game that was ever released, that I ever played, you know? Like, it's just crazy, and I'm ready for it, 100%, ready to play it day one.
Yeah, so I just wanted to add to this. It's I'm not a fan of open world games because they're really time consuming and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And before, I did play Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, but I never finished it, you know, so I couldn't remember much. Like, I only played a little bit because I got the Switch and then Smash, and then it took over, right? But then recently, maybe like 2 years that I beat Horizon, the first one, open world, and then I played the second one, and then I played Elden Ring. And so I started playing a little bit, not that much open world because they're not my favorites, but it was mostly for the story and stuff like that, right? And then I went back to play Breath of the Wild recently for Tears of the Kingdom, and I've forgotten how different it is as an open world. So what I'm trying to explain for Gold is this game has like Breath of the Wild, you can interact with the world. So if it's cold, you have to wear a sweater or whatever, or you have to make a potion to keep you warm. Open worlds don't do that. You know what I mean? The weather changes. The weather environment in Horizon, it rains, but that's it. It just rains. Nothing happens. In Breath of the Wild, when it rains, lightning actually strikes you if you wear metal, like in Real World, And then if you have a fire arrow, you throw it in the ground, it actually burns the grass. Like all these little things that in Horizon, it looks realistic. Horizon, right? Really realistic. Like to the point where you're like, oh crap, right? It's real realistic. You can't cut down trees. If you throw a fire arrow on the ground, nothing happens. Like it's so realistic, but it doesn't have realistic environments. I don't know if that makes sense.
Like the mechanics.
Yeah, the mechanics, and then you can't climb anywhere. You have only points to climb to. That it tells you where to climb to. Compared to Breath of the Wild, you could climb literally anything in the whole world, and then it has a linear path as well. Like Horizon is open world, but you have to follow the path they give you. Compared to Breath of the Wild, you do whatever you want, explore when you want, and go to the point to finish the game whenever you want and how you want to do it.
You could literally do it after the first shrine, the first few shrines. You can go after you finish the tutorial. You can go fight the boss, the final boss.
Yeah, which has never been done before. And then to this day, when I play an open world, it's not. It feels like, for me at least, I really didn't like it that much open worlds, but now like playing Breath of the Wild again, and then now I know Tears of the Kingdom, it's gonna up that, and it's gonna feel like okay, it's gonna ruin open worlds for me, in terms of like the environment. Like okay, I'll play it for the story, but I'll be like
it's gonna feel limiting, right?
Yeah, limited. Like what I mean, like so that sucks for that, but I mean, it's just I don't know. Like they're the way Nintendo makes their games, man. Every time, like they're always creative on what they do because they don't lean on graphics only. I don't know if that makes sense, So like okay, we're gonna work on the gameplay aspect, build a world. Like I see it time again, like in Xenoblade as well. Like like Xenoblade 1, the world was that you're in two titans that are dormant. That's the world you live in. So like, and I never seen that in any game. And those are the same people that are helping to make Tears of the Kingdom. So it's like, they know what they're doing. It's just people don't give it a chance, I guess. But now with Tears of the Kingdom, like, there's gonna be a lot of new players, not only from the Breath of the Wild people, but also just people that are playing other games now and they're interested on Tears of the Kingdom because we saw the Switch sales go up, like the actual console go up, and then we saw the new Switch OLED that came out. It was on Amazon charts, the #1 and stuff like that. Like the console's selling right now because of the game. So you're gonna have all these new players and stuff like that, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be it's gonna go crazy, TikTok clips. It all like everything's gonna be crazy there.
It's gonna be everyone's figuring everything out.
Yeah.
Literally right now, like on TikTok, all I see is Breath of the Wild stuff right now because people are excited. Like it makes me want to play Breath of the Wild again. You know what I mean? And I like that's the reason. One of the reasons I like Metroid a lot. Metroid Prime. I mean Dread. Sorry, because I'm playing Prime right now. But Metroid Dread is because it's very linear. It's very very linear, and those are my type of games. Like even The Last of Us is linear. Like there's just point A, point B, and that's it. Yeah. There's you can snoop around, get items or whatever, but at the end of the day, you're gonna end up in that point. But Breath of the Wild, there's so much to do, but you don't feel overwhelmed in doing it. You know what I mean? You can do your own things. You can choose to do what you want to do and not feel overwhelmed with all the like the missions or whatever. Because at the end of the day, it's like you can still go fight the boss. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. You can just go fight the boss and that's it. You know. And when you do the like even like the guardians, you know, the 4 guardians, like you don't have to do that. But it just adds to the story if you want to. And it helps you in the end. It helps you kill the boss faster at the end, Ganon, you know. But if you didn't want to do it, you don't have to. Like you're not obligated. Like a lot of these games really make you obligated to do things that, even missions that you don't want to do. You know, like backtracking and going here and then there and then here and then there, and then you just get like, you know, like 10 coins or something or $10, whatever. It just feels rewarding that the fact that you can do what you want, you know, like really do what you want, and climb wherever and explore and just mess around if you want to, or just kill all the enemies. Like one of the tasks that I put myself when I played it is do all the puzzles, you know, finish them, and I got rewarded with what they call the Hero of Time armor, which is Link's original like outfit. Yeah. And it just felt so rewarding. Like it was so cool to be able to do that and then fight the boss. And you know, I have a picture of it right now on my Switch. Let me show you. But like, just fight the boss and just feel so, I guess like,
Rewarding.
Yeah, like it felt so rewarding. Like, let me see if y'all can get it. You see that?
Yeah.
And like cool. Like even the original like Epona, you know, like the actual horse, like you do a mission for that, and it's just like it's so rewarding to do all that, and like I don't know, like it was just cool. It was just cool to me. Like I've never experienced that in any other game before, and that's why like the Breath of the Wild is like one of my top games. And I'm not really into open world either, you know.
I agree.
Yeah. So. Moving on to the next, Star Wars Jedi Survivor came out, and we talked about it in the last podcast with The Last of Us PC port, and now it's happening with Star Wars. I showed Code the advertising. I was like, "This is really cool." You know, we saw Mr. Hamill being there. You know, Luke himself advertised it all, and then the game came out, and it's crashing, running horrible, like 20 frames. It's and not only PC, PS5, Xbox, everywhere, man. It's really bad, and it sucks because you're spending $70 in the game, you know, and then it's running like crap, you know, and it's like, when are they gonna get it that, you know, it's not fair that you're paying $70 for a game and you can't even play it technically, you know. What's it called? And it looks like EA knew about it because they made a post before the game came out. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna do a patch to fix some issues." So they knew that something was wrong with the game, and they still released it. You know, EA Respawn. So it's like they knew it was an issue, and they still released it to meet whatever. I mean, and it's so far, at least what I've seen, is that it's mostly these AAA big titles that are happening this issue. You know, this big titles. I don't know what's going on, and I mean, I know Goda said it on the last podcast about The Last of Us, where it's no excuse to, you know, release these games like this. But what do y'all think?
They're just rushing it. Like, they announce it, they're like, "Oh, we need to get it out already. We can't let the hype die. We need to let them like announce it 6 months ago and needs to release in 6 months, because if it releases next year, people are gonna forget about it, and the hype is gonna die down." But like, like that's why I think Nintendo does really, really good, is their marketing. I really do think their marketing is the best that for any other console. Like,
I agree.
I don't even watch anything that's video games. Like, I haven't even watched the Tears of Kingdom. I haven't watched anything, no trailers, nothing. I have not watched anything about the new Legend of Zelda, but I know everybody's talking about it. So even though I've avoided it and I haven't looked it up or anything, everybody's talking about it, so that says a lot of their marketing. Like, if I was not a gamer at all, I would still hear about it, you know. And for me, I think it's just that like they announce a game and they feel like they need to release it right away, so the hype doesn't forget, the people don't forget about it, and the hype doesn't die on it. But like, I don't know, like Sony does it a lot where they announce a game and then releases it like years later, like Kingdom Hearts, right? They kept saying, "Oh, we're getting a new Kingdom Hearts," never came out, and then I don't even know how many years happened until it finally came out. And Final Fantasy as well. They kept saying there's going to be a new Final Fantasy, a remake. That took so many years. It kept getting pushed back for it to happen. And but those games being the games they were is why it was so successful. But other games that are not as successful like that, like super known like that, I don't know. I just feel like they want to rush it. They're like, just because of that reason. It's like, oh, I don't want people to forget about this thing.
Yeah.
And they had already delayed it, I think.
Oh yeah, they did actually. I remember that.
It had already been delayed, which is weird. Like delayed and it's still kind of broken. Like like they just delayed again.
There was another game, no, that happened. The one with Keanu Reeves.
Cyberpunk.
Oh, Cyberpunk, yeah.
Oh, dude, that was a disaster.
That was
Apparently,
worse.
Apparently, it's like it plays the way it should now.
Yeah,
That's like 2 years after.
Yeah.
Like it was so bad that they had to take it off the PlayStation Store, dude, and refund the people for it. Like
Damn.
that was crazy. Like that was bad. That was horrible.
And everybody was talking about that game.
Yeah, everyone was hyped. Like everyone
It was
wanted
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the company that made it, like they made The Witcher. Like they were excited for the next, game.
Yeah, because the aspect of the game, like the open world, and you can do whatever you want. Like it looked good, and just the environment and the aesthetic of the game, and it looked very appealing. So people were excited. I was excited for it, but I knew I wasn't gonna buy it. I like to watch. You know what I mean? Like I think for me it was a game that I would like to see someone play it. Just on stream or whatever, but not for me to play. But it was just a disaster. That one was bad, and it's sad to see that with the Star Wars game, because I heard the first one was really good, and it just seems like it's just a cycle now. Like it's just the normal for a lot of companies.
All because they can patch it.
Yeah, just because like we'll patch it later on, this and that, but like that's not the point. That's not the point. The point is that you're selling us a game full price and it's not the game fully finished, and that's always one of my gripes when people try to like make fun of like Nintendo and the Switch and the games that they come out with. Like they're like, oh, you're paying $70 for a game that can't even run on PC or can't even run 60 frames. I'm like, okay, but like look at the quality of the game, look at the content that it has. Like it has all the content already. I don't have to wait for a patch to fix something. I mean, yeah, there's some glitches here and there, but like when Breath of the Wild came out, it was a finished game. It was finished and there was nothing really added to it except DLC later on. But that's DLC and you can pay for that if you want to, but it didn't affect the quality of the game. You know what I mean? It just added more if you wanted more. But like, it's just like, that's why I love Nintendo games. It's finished, it's ready to play as soon as you put it on your system, and that's it. All these other consoles and all these other games, they give you an unfinished game, and it's just like patch, and it's just frustrating. It gets tired. That's why like I don't touch my PC as much as I used to, because like when Overwatch came out, it was buggy. When Halo came out, it was buggy. It's like, I hate this trend. I hate it so much. Like it just kind of made me just not want to touch anything else except for my Switch.
Yeah. As a Star Wars fan, I'm really disappointed, and it sucks for all Star Wars fans. And then I had to tell one of my friends or boss that I had before. I had to tell him, don't get it because right now it's really bad. He's like, oh, thanks for letting me know and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing, and
Yeah, I mean,
It's sad.
they just put out unfinished games. It's just incomplete
At some
coding or
point,
whatever it is.
do y'all think like they're gonna pass some kind of regulation like you're I mean I don't think so, because how do you regulate that? But it's like, I don't know, like your game should not be broken when it comes out, you know, because it's almost not really, but it's almost like false advertising, right? Like if your game's constantly crashing, you know, like when do you think it's gonna be like a crazy huge like, you know, class action lawsuit and like they win, and it's like, yeah, like y'all need to actually make games that work, you know, that you can actually play. If not, then you're just gonna get sued, or you know, you're gonna get fined or whatever for every month that this game's broken that you release. We're gonna fine you all this money. So it's better off just actually finishing the game. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think they would do that, because how do you really regulate that? But it's just like, I don't know. Like eventually there's gonna be a tipping point where, because like you said, like it's happened before, and it's gonna happen again. You know, The Last of Us port was really bad. Cyberpunk was huge. This is bad. Like there's a lot of games that come out and they're just bad. Like they're badly ported, badly optimized. So eventually either it's gonna be something like that, or people are just gonna not buy games or something, you know? I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but eventually there's gonna be a tipping point where it's just change happens.
I think what's gonna happen is people are not gonna buy it on release, and it's gonna affect the company, and they're gonna realize, okay, because like if you release a game and the sales are like half of what you expect, then you're not gonna want to release a game until it's fully done. Because like I like the Star Wars game. I haven't finished the first one, but I was like, I'll just finish it when I'm ready to buy the second one, so I can like finish it and go straight into the next one and not try to remember the story again. But for me, it was like, oh, just wait till it goes on sale at that point, you know, because I'm not in a hurry to buy it. Tears of the Kingdom is coming out. I'd rather play that one, buy that one for the price, because that one I'm worried about it getting spoiled. And but like if games keep releasing like that where they're broken, then people are not gonna buy the games on release for that certain company that releases those type of games. You're like, oh, it's probably not gonna work, so I'll just wait. I'll be conservative and wait. Let me spend my money on this other game instead, that I know it's gonna come out and it's gonna be a complete game, and the companies are gonna eat that, and they're gonna say, well, they're gonna have an option, is either, you know, stop doing games or start doing them complete. So even if it takes an extra 6 months to complete it, you know, because if you think about it, like if a game releases today and it takes 3 months to finally fix it, should have just released it in 3 months from now. Like, it's easy. It's better to push back the release than it is to release out a bad game, because not only are you losing money, but they're also losing like
loyalty.
Exactly, yeah. Like you're losing that retention on loyal customers, because now they're like, oh well, every time you release a game it breaks, so I'm just gonna wait until I know everything's completely fixed. Like like I think that's why the Xbox does really bad. For me, it was like I don't care about exclusiveness. Well, I do now, but I didn't care about exclusiveness or anything like that for any console. But because I didn't really play that many story games. But the one thing that told me not to buy an Xbox was that you can only play. It only works if you're connected to online. And the fact that it makes me have to connect online, I was like, I'm not gonna get it. Like, so just gonna happen. Like Xbox ate it. Like, look at their console now, how bad they're doing, and they're trying to find ways to come back. But at this point, it's already too late, you know. Yeah, and it's gonna happen to smaller companies with video games only. Like, you know, that's gonna happen. That people are not gonna buy those games on release. Their sales are not gonna hit their numbers, and they're gonna suffer for it.
Yeah. I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, I think at the end of the day, I don't think there's ever going to be a lawsuit for it, or like a class action, because at the end of the day, you're suing for $60. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You can make an argument, you can make a case, but for just $60, it doesn't make sense at the end of the day. But or 70, yeah, I wanna 70 now. But like, I think it's up to the people, the consumers, to be like, oh man, like this game isn't finished. I'm gonna just go return it. You know, make the company hurt so they know that it's not acceptable. You know, because like a lot of the times, that's why I really don't buy games on release unless I know it's a reputable developer or you know, like it just they always finish their games or it's gonna be something good. But like, yeah, like newer games, I don't get them because it's just a trend right now. They don't finish them and it's bad, and you have to wait like, you know, 4 months. Yeah, Halo came out, it was unfinished, and it's still unfinished.
That one's free
You know?
too.
And it's free, you know. And then the story mode was supposed to be there was supposed to be a co-op, and they never released it. And they were like, "Oh, it's delayed. It's delayed. It's delayed. It's delayed." And then people started. The CEO left.
Yeah.
The you know, like the president left, and then they fired someone. They fired someone else. They found the director. They fired the director for whatever the co-op stuff. And then at the end, there's no co-op.
Yeah.
You know, they announced that there's no co-op. So it's like I'm glad I didn't buy it because it was unfinished. They're still trying to fix it, and you know they promised so many things, and then at the end, we're left with an unfinished game where for you to change the color of your skin, you have to pay like $60 for like a color. You know what I mean? Like a microtransaction. And it's just like, dude, your game is not even finished. Why do you want me to spend $60 on it? 60 more bucks. You know, like it's just it doesn't make sense. It's just frustrating. That's why I'd rather just wait for games, and it's up to the consumers to really just show their presence and be like, hey, you know, we don't like this. Return those games or don't buy them. You know.
Mhm.
But it's harder said than done because you get excited and you're like, oh, a new Call of Duty or a new Halo or this and that, and it's just disappointing. You just always end up disappointed at the end.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to add was, you know, you gotta vote with your wallet. That's it. And there is actually confirmed data from Sony and Activision that indicates higher game prices are leading to fewer game sales. So it's already confirmed that $70 games are not selling. So they might change, like you said, you know, they can't do a lot, but they might change their perspective in developing games, you know.
Games were 50 once, right? Or,
Yeah, back then.
Long as time ago.
Yeah, way back then. Like Wii era.
Yeah.
good days.
I do have a question here from Bernice. Says, what would be y'all's top 3 games?
Of all time or what?
I guess, yeah, or recently, maybe. You know, for me, I would say Final Fantasy X. Obviously, that's where I got my tag from, and then I would say that one recently was Xenoblade 1, so that's 2, and then the third one I'll give it to Tales of Symphonia. What's up, Eddie?
It has to be Breath of the Wild.
Okay.
For sure. I invested too much time into that game. I think Breath of the Wild, I mean, I don't... There's a lot of really good games that I haven't gotten a chance to play, but the one that I did play a lot, that I was actually surprised, that I really enjoyed was Dishonored. Played it on the PS3, and that game was really fun. I got addicted to it too. Dishonored is really fun. And then the third one, I don't know, actually.
It's a harder that.
Yeah,
Christian.
I don't know.
Favorite games of all time?
It could be all time or recently, maybe. I mean, it's just
Okay.
top 3. Top 3 games.
Top 3 games. I get, like of all time, I think like my favorite game would probably have to be I think Ocarina of Time. And I'm not trying to say it's like the best game ever. It is really good, but I think because it helped me like get into other style of games, you know? It was like the first game that I ever played that was adventure, like semi-open and just kind of like different, you know?
Yeah.
I was very into either racing or fighting or or competitive like shooting or whatever. You know, like I was never into those type of games, and it really opened that up for me. Recently, it has to be. It's a tie between Breath of the Wild, Metroid Prime, Dread. I keep saying Prime. Dread, and Ni no Kuni. Between those three, like recently, man, they're all like amazing games. They're all different, and it's a tie for me on those, you know. But yeah, those are my favorite games.
Goat?
It's kind of hard for me to say because I haven't played too many games, but whenever I'm asked that question, I think about what really resonated with me when I was a child, you know. And the first thing I think about is Banjo-Kazooie, Donkey Kong 64, and I think the last one would be Pokemon Gold version. It's just because it was at that moment where the Game Boy was, you know, was the mainstream, you know, it was really popular, and I just seeing it and grabbing it for the first time. So I don't know if that's really because it's my favorite, or it's just because it was kind of life-changing. I was introduced to gaming in that era, you know, but that's the first thing I think about. Probably be those three, because every time I think about gaming in my childhood, it's those are the three games that come to mind. Recently, again, I'm just exploring, trying out new games outside of competitive gaming. I would have to say Resident Evil 2, 4, and 6.
Hey, those are good, man.
I finished 2. I'm playing 4. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm enjoying it so much that I'm thinking of going back to 6. I almost finished 6. I'm so sure I almost finished.
7.
Is it Biohazard 7?
Yeah, 7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah, 6 is the worst one. Don't play that one.
6 is the worst one.
Don't play that.
I was like, are you sure it's 6, man?
Yeah, no, it's 7.
The Biohazard.
Biohazard, 7.
2, 4, and 7, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I don't know what happened when I was playing 7. I played 7 after 2, and I know for a fact that I finished like a good 60% of it, and then I just stopped. And then I'm playing 4. So after 4, I do want to finish 7, and after that, I don't know. I'm thinking of going back and finishing Final Fantasy and Outlast and Dead Space. I'm not too sure, but
Dead Space is so good.
Dead Space.
I love Dead Space. Are you playing Resident Evil 4, the original or the remake?
The remake.
The remake? Okay.
Yeah.
The original's pretty good too. Man, I haven't seen a lot of gameplay from the remake, but like I played the 4, the original. Man, I missed out on my childhood, man, playing it.
Yeah, I'm watching you play a little bit, but I don't want to play. I don't want to watch too much because I want to play it myself. But it looks really good.
Dude, yesterday I was playing it till 5 in the morning.
Damn.
It was crazy. But I really like Leon. Leon's hilarious.
He's
like
so cool.
he's put in the craziest positions, and then he gives like a little witty joke, like oh, I shouldn't have gone to work today or something, you know, like it's just,
little punchlines.
Yeah, it's so stupid, dude.
It makes it so much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alex is muted. I don't know if he could give us his top 3, but if not, we'll move on to the last topic that I want to cover, and that's y'all were just talking about it, competitive gaming. Well, for me, you know, competitive gaming is Smash right now. That's the most I play for competitive, and I'm thinking into getting into Street Fighter when it comes out. I'm really interested on that one. And before that, I did play, you know, some shooters, competitive shooters, and that's like my most history. It was just Fortnite and Apex. That was the main ones. I don't consider Battlefield because I don't even think they had a competitive. I don't even know.
I don't think so.
Right? They did?
I don't think they do.
But yeah, I mean, I've kind of moved on a little bit from that because I felt like I missed out on a lot of games that came out, and I was like, you know what, I want to change it up a bit, you know, and do other stuff, and there was a lot of time invested on those, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna play, you know, on my time. I want to play other kinds and stuff like that, and because with Smash, it's not like I play every day Smash. I just go compete at tournaments or when we have friendlies. You know, I use that as practice and stuff like that. So I don't feel the need to play every day that. So it doesn't feel that I invested, I invest a lot of time into it because it's not like every day I play it. So the days that I don't play Smash, I'm playing these other games, and then here and there play a competitive game, with friends and stuff like that. But not treat it as that. If that makes sense. But yeah, I know I've seen some of y'all moved on for a little bit, not a lot, a little bit. Like I know Eddie used to play a lot of Apex and Call of Duty, and that's it. And then he started playing. Surprised me playing other games that he used to play back then. Because back then he used to play other games, so now he's playing back.
Yeah, there was a section where I would pretty much only play like Call of Duty or FIFA or stuff like that.
Yeah, FIFA.
Yeah.
Like Christian as well. I mean, I'm surprised Christian. All of y'all were so out of that, And now I'm seeing Gold a little bit. I'm like, well, what the heck? Like when you were playing yesterday, I was like, well, he's gonna last like an hour tops. And then I stopped watching, and I went back. And I was like, oh crap, he's still playing? Like, what the heck? Like, surprised me, So, I don't know, I mean, what do y'all think about competitive gaming right now?
I'll go last, because I have a lot to say.
Competitive gaming, like in one aspect, like a...
What do y'all think how it is right now, where... Because it's not just y'all, okay? It's not just y'all, like...
Yeah.
There's people that I seen, that I watch and stuff like that. They've been playing other games. They've been complaining and like they've been even like Tweak. I don't know if y'all saw that post he made where he said he was gonna play more story games and other games because that he felt like he missed out on a lot and actually so it's not just him.
I want to say something. Now that you bring up that point. So, like I said, when Halo Infinite came out, I was grinding on the competitive rank. I was so into it, like I missed out on a lot. I only played this game for I want to say maybe 2-3 months, and I have 134 hours on it.
Which one?
You know what I mean? Halo Infinite. And it's just like, I work, I have a daughter, like I have a lot to do, and I don't have a lot of time to play. So for me, that's a lot. That's a lot of time invested, And competitive gaming really does that. Like you're just in it, Like you don't really focus on other games because you wanna. I love to be able to say like I'm good, at a game. I love that. Like I especially like Halo Infinite really gave that to me. Because I was top 5%, like being Onyx. I was top 1% actually, top 1%. I was like, dude, like that's crazy. Like I can't believe I made it this far. Like even for Apex, I wanted that, but then like it just felt stale. It felt like I spent too much time on it, and like I wasn't getting any better. So, and at the end. When I was doing that, when I was playing just those games, I missed out on a lot. Like even games that I had already bought. Like I didn't play Breath of the Wild till recently. And I had that game for like 2-3 years. And it was because I was so hooked on these competitive games. So I think like right now, like it just depends on the game, but they really do take up a lot of your time because you get so invested into it. You want to be better. You want to do better. You want to be able to say like, hey, I'm Diamond, or hey, I'm Onyx, I'm Masters, I'm Grandmasters, and this and that, and just that kind of achievement, like it's very fulfilling. But you do waste a lot of time.
I mean, casual players have always been a thing, right? Like people that buy, PS3 just because they wanted to play FIFA and Call of Duty, like back then they've always kind of been there. Like all they ever play is Call of Duty, FIFA, or Madden, 2K, stuff like that. But yeah, I agree. Like Christian said, like it definitely took a lot of time playing competitive games. Trying to rank up every day. playing a lot of Apex and stuff like that. But to be honest, I'm not the most competitive player either. Even in Apex, like I kind of just play for fun. Like I did like ranking up, obviously, and winning, but I never took it so seriously that that I felt like I needed to be like in the meta, or I needed to practice certain techs or whatever, like mechanics and stuff like that. Like I don't know, like I'm not that competitive, but I like competitive games because it's fun. It's fun competing. It's fun doing good. It's fun playing them. But yeah, either way, like during that time, especially when I was playing a lot of Call of Duty and FIFA, back then. Again, it wasn't competitive. Like I would kind of just play for fun, but I would invest a lot of time into those games, and like I would get better just from playing and like trying different things. Like I would just get better and better, like in FIFA. But I never really played competitively, but it did take a lot of time just to get that good from playing. And yeah, I definitely missed on a lot of different other games. It was during the same time that Breath of the Wild came out. Like I was like, I wasn't really looking forward to it. Like it looked cool, whatever, but I didn't really think I was gonna have that much fun, and I did. And after that, I started thinking like I still played a lot of competitive and shooters and a lot of games that you stay in one game for a really long time, but because of Breath of the Wild, I started thinking more about a lot of different experiences that I was missing out on. That are really, really good as well. Fun, different types of games and everything like that. So I do agree with that.
For me, I think I am currently in the process of re-understanding kind of what gaming is all about. Re-understanding what competitive gaming is all about. Now, what do I mean by that? Because I have put some thought into this. Like, what comes to mind when you think of competitive gaming? And to me, it was results, right? That's it. So, what does one do? You grind. You try to be the best. And all you care about is the finish line. You want the result. You want to be number one. Blah blah. This and that. And I think that's not what competitive gaming is all about. It's about competing. Now, what do I mean by that? When you compete, you're in the moment, and to some, like myself, I enjoy competition. That's fun. You're not gonna play competitive games if you don't have fun. So, also, there's times where I would go to Smash tournament. I'll be competing all day and I'm tired, so I go home and I'll be like, I don't really want to play League because that's more competing and I'm tired. I was like, what do I do? What do I play? And I remember one time I tried megaman. I had bought megaman with Animacast, and I was okay into it. Oh shoot, I was okay, not too much into it. But then one day when I came back from a tournament, I was tired and I didn't want to play a competitive game. I played megaman, and I felt like for the first time in a very long time, I understood what it meant to play a single-player story game. The feeling that I am relaxed. I don't have to be all on my edge, all here, like sitting straight, trying to win a game. I laid back, I relaxed, I listened to the story, I got to interact, and I felt a sense of relaxation that I have not felt in a long time in gaming. Because again, when you play a competitive game, you have to sit up straight, really focus, and that was really eye-opening for me. And that's something that I'm still discovering. Like yesterday, I was playing Resident Evil, and I had this viewer who told me, why don't you get this item for treasure map? Why don't you get this gun, this and that? And I told him, honestly, I just want to get my shotgun, my pistol, and I want to explore the story. Mm-hmm. And he's like, but he told me, yes, but he's like, but there's so much more to the story, blah blah. And I told him, I just really want to finish it. I want to see what the story is about so I can play other games. And that's when again I made the same mistake. I'm wanting results, and he told me, no, like people enjoy you exploring the game. There's no rush. Just play the game at your time, explore everything, just have a good time. And again, I was like, wow, you're right. And I kind of felt that you can actually implement that to everything in life. If you just worry too much about the results or the end line or what you want in the end, you miss the moment. And that's what's important. And then back to gaming. In Smash, I stopped playing because I didn't get any results. So that's why I say that I misunderstood what competitive gaming was all about. It's not about results. It's about enjoying competing against others, whether you win or lose. And now I'm trying to have, or I am having a fresh take in competing. I've been 0-2'd, I've been destroyed in tournaments, but it doesn't affect me at all like it did before. Because before, what did I want? Results. Man, what did I lose? What did I do wrong? Blah, blah. Now it's like, damn, this guy was tough. That was fun. I want to play him again. I want to get better. So, to answer your question, Rakan, what do I think about competitive gaming? I think that a lot of people, like myself, might be in a state where they don't know what it means, what it truly means. And it's to have fun competing, not the results.
It has to feel satisfying.
Yes, and
I think that's where I'm at, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I want results. I want this and that. Like even like Javi's, he had an extra copy of Fire Emblem, and he sold it to me. And like at the time, I was kind of in a grind for Overwatch 2, you know. And you know, I used to be masters in Overwatch first, the first one, but on the PS4 on console. But then I was like, oh, like, let me get back into the grind. Like, it's Overwatch 2. Let me see if I still got it. And it was fun, you know? Like, I was in that, getting results. And I just want results. And then Fire Emblem came out. Fire Emblem Engage. And Javis was like, you should try it. So I bought the copy off of him. And I didn't even last. Like, I think I only played it for maybe 2-4 hours in total. And then I sold it, like, because I wasn't getting any results. Like, it was just too slow for me. But I think it's because I'm in that state of mind that you're talking about. It's like I just want results. Like I was like, man, like when am I gonna finish this game? And then Javi's told me, he was like, oh, I already have like 140 hours on this game, and I still haven't finished it. I was like, no, no, that's not for me, you know. So I just kind of like. I was like, nah, it's not my type of game. I mean, to be honest, it really isn't my type of game. Like, I'm not really into those type of RPG games.
Yeah.
But I was willing to give it a try because I gave a lot of things a try, you know, this past few years. And I enjoyed it a lot. And Javi's always recommends pretty good games. So I was like, I'll give it a try. But I'm still in that state of mind where, like, even right now, like, I'm trying to play Metroid Prime. It just came out remastered. But I just can't get into it because right now I'm in the competitive state. Like I want to grind on. Like right now I don't have a game to grind on, but I'm just kind of like I want to grind on a game right now. Like I'm competitive. I want results. I want to feel like I'm good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. How'd you get out of that state of mind?
Interestingly enough, it was this quote that really opened my mind. I've repeated it several times. So I think Yuji's already tired of me saying this, but I'm saying it again. It was this quote, literally just, I was like, what? It said, I don't know where I got it from, but it said, the man who loves to walk walks further than the man who loves his destination. In other words, if you're just thinking about destination, you might not never get there because you're frustrated. But if you're having so much fun in the journey, you will get to that destination, and then you had so much fun, you'll pass it. So it was just mind-opening. It was that combined with seeing SkyJ's results, like proving everybody wrong that he's doing so well with this character, and you always see him, he's smiling, having fun. And it was just like, wow, when was the last time I played to have fun? And then, oh my gosh, I won a tournament. You know what I mean? And thinking more about that, I was also like, back then I'll be like, man, which character should I use in Smash to win? Should I use K. Rool, Dr. Mario, Banjo, blah blah? And I would always be stuck in like, who should I use? And I was like, wait a minute. Why don't I just use whoever I want, whoever I feel like it at the moment? And when I told myself that, I was like, wow, that's it. It's whoever I enjoy. So if I go to a tournament, I'll be like, oh, I'll just use this character. And if I lose, well, it was fun. How do I improve that reason that I lost instead of, man, I didn't get results, you know? Yeah. So it's just a quote, and it's so amazing to me because you can apply that to anything in life, you know? Anything you're doing, instead of thinking about, oh, when am I going to have this much money? Instead of enjoying that process of learning that subject or anything you're doing, and when you just start thinking about that, you're like, man, it all makes sense because humans in general want a sense of purpose, and to have a sense of purpose, you need to be productive, and it all comes together. Just don't think too much about the future, because the future is always uncertain. You can't control the future. If you enjoy the present, it's a gift, right? It's a present. But that's pretty much it, man. It's just so amazing how everything just started coming together.
That's a good quote.
It is, man. I heard it, I was like, wow, I can't believe it. And I got back into Smash just because of that dumb quote. It's crazy.
For me,
it's not dumb if it worked.
Yeah, sure, sure.
For me on that is like it's consistency over everything. Like
Mhm.
I mean, obviously we all want that feeling of success right away. Like
Yeah.
like Gold said, it's in anything, right? Obviously you have an end goal for anything that you do. You have an end goal for it. It's never like you just doing it just because. Like there's living in the moment, but with the goal at the end, right? But you don't want to forget what the journey because you just want to get to the goal. You get there and you're like, how did I even get here? Like I didn't even enjoy it. And whatever it is, like if you want to be the best player in the world, if you're so focused on that and you don't enjoy the experiences that you get along the way, the lessons that you get along the way, you get there and you're just gonna be like, well, what's next? Like I was so fixated on this that I didn't even enjoy the journey. I don't really have memories of it that were good because I'm so focused on just getting to the goal. And you don't have a good mindset through the whole process because every time you have to take a step back because of failure, that it frustrates you a lot more than it should. And
Yeah.
so, like I told Gold the other day that he got on Mega Man and I was playing because I'm playing Nino Kuni right now.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I was like, you just really got to get into the mindset when you're going to start a game. Because for me, the biggest issue was I start a game and then I don't finish it. And then I want to play it again, but I don't want to start all over and do everything I just did all over again. But I don't want to start where I left off because I don't really remember exactly how to play the game or what part in the story I was. It's
Yeah.
like starting a show, never finishing it, and then, all right, I got to go back to episode 1. Or I should just watch it at episode 10, but I don't remember what happened 1 through 10, right? Um, so it's just kind of like getting in the mindset, like, okay, I have to just be consistent, even if it's 30 minutes a day, or even 30 minutes every 2 days, or whatever it is. But just the consistency where you're playing the game, um, and you enjoy the story. You're not like, oh, I need to finish it, I need to finish it, because there's games where like I just want to get to the end already. Like I'm already putting so many hours. I need to finish this game. But when you think about it that way, where you're just like, let me just be consistent with it, and next thing you know, you're done with the game. You're like, oh shit, I already finished it. I didn't even know I was done with it.
Mhm.
Like I didn't even know that was gonna be the ending. I was just enjoying the game in general. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it applies to everything. Honestly, just enjoy the journey on whatever you're doing. Don't get fixated on the end goal. It's like,
Yeah.
future's important. Don't forget about it. Don't forget why you started it, but just
And
enjoy both.
another thing, real quick. Also, when I played these games again, like the classic games like Mega Man, and then there would be like little side quests or stuff to do, I would ask myself, why is it when I was a little kid, I loved doing these side quests? I would explore all these things, and now I don't. I just kind of want to finish it, and it kind of boils down to the same thing because when you're a kid and you don't know much about the real world, you're just enjoying the moment, right? You don't know about the future. You're not worried about money and debt and health reasons. You're just enjoying the moment. So that's why when I do these things, like how come I was able to do it when I was young and now I can't. See, I told you, right? Animacast, like I don't know how I used to play this game. I used to love doing these things when I was little. Now I just can't do it. Well, it's because right now I still have that unfortunate built mindset that we need results. That's kind of how we grow up, right? We as humans and adults, we grow up that people want to see results from us or result in general. So
I did
so,
say
yeah.
impatience. I mean, a lot of people are really impatient nowadays. A lot,
Mhm.
and it's not just you.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, it's kind of like what Alex said. It revolves around anything. Like anything, people are impatient because everything is fast now. Like back then, it was like we already had the internet or whatever, social media also. So now it's like, we need it now, and like
Results.
results. Like kind of
Crazy.
like how you said, yeah. And like for me, it's really cool, like to see y'all experiment out of, because it's like it's our entertainment, whether you're playing competitive or not. And the reason why I insist a lot for for y'all or whatever, is because people we forget, because I felt the same way. I was into competitive, and then I got out of that loop, and then it opened up, I guess, and it was like, oh crap, like we forget why or how we got into gaming. We forget what we, back then there was no competitive. There wasn't like right now, where you have your streamers, you have tournaments, you have esports. Like there was nothing like that, and then basically it overtook the gaming world in a big way. That's the majority of people see it that way, and it's like we forget, the simpler times and how, that's not the whole, that's not it, it's not everything basically. It's like I know that, I see you stressed or just, some of y'all stressed about this certain competitive game or whatever. I'm like, you know what, like just go, you still want to game or whatever, but you don't want to play. Okay, just play other games or remember those times. Like, it's not. How come you weren't stressed back then? Same reason, because you were just playing relaxed games or whatever, learning this and that, different ways or different stories and stuff like that, and then go back to your competitive in a fresh mindset. I don't know. Remember, when we used to play Apex. Remember, I would say that I was having like I was playing to win, but not to the point where I was stressed, I guess.
Yeah.
So then you would treat it, 'cause since you were so competitive, you treat it as you don't care to win because you're not taking it serious. Remember? And I was like, no, it's not it. It's just I don't want to get to that point where like I have to do like we're playing, we're chilling, we're. I mean, the clips before. Those clips before we started in the beginning, when you had, I think you still have those clips, and us laughing and like doing stupid crap, whatever, because we were learning the game together, and then out of nowhere, like, okay, now we're doing our own thing. Everyone's serious now. It's like after that, there was not a lot of like moments like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like that was the point for that game was there. That was the main point, not what the result at the end was. It was the beginning, how that was a competitive right there, where we're playing competitive and also having fun, and then it turned to just competitive and not having fun, just seeing results, kind of like you said, and that's one of the main reasons that I don't play competitive is because that's multiplayer, because for the most part when I play, it's like, okay, everyone's playing it in a serious way, and I don't want that, So sometimes when I play with Christian or whatever, like we play Overwatch, sometimes we're just chilling, trying to win, obviously, but it's like a game to play together, just like back then. Because back then, I mean, that's why I like playing Smash with y'all, because it's like we don't play those games anymore where you would go to a friend's house and play. Now we use we use Smash as that, and we're still playing it. It's not like we're playing with items. Like, we're playing competitive. We're trying to win. We're trying to, you know what I mean? But do you ever feel stressed? No, because we're just technically hanging out, playing, and also playing it competitive, And that's how I want to play those games, those shooter games or whatever with y'all. And for the most part, it's like everyone, it's not just y'all, like everyone's taking it too serious where they don't feel like satisfied to where they're at and this and that, and it's like, okay, just relax, play another game or watch a movie or whatever, like, and then come back with a healthier mindset, That's what I take away. And I'm surprised that Eddie, Christian, you, and Alex are playing actual, like, I make fun of these games, but for me, I feel like they are better, they're reviewed better or whatever, because the same reason. They actually have they're structured. The structure is better in terms of the competitive games. The content is bigger. Everything's just better overall, but obviously it doesn't have competitive. That's the main thing. So that's what we played back then, and now we're going back to that, and it's really cool to see, because there is games out there that could capture the same feeling you had back then. Now, you know what I mean? In modern day. And I mean, I'm gonna name drop here, but my friend, Jose Bambi, he has that competitive mindset right now. Yeah. Really, really competitive, and it's not. I mean, not frustrating, but it was sad because I told him he's a huge Zelda fan, right? He's a huge Zelda fan, huge Fire Emblem, huge Xenoblade, whatever. And he played Xenoblade, Fire Emblem, or he bought them and never played them because competitive. Like he started them and couldn't, you know. And then Zelda came out, everyone was interested, and I told him because he's a huge. I know he is, right? He tells me every day like he's a huge Zelda game fan. Not interested because he's like, I don't know, man. Like he has that competitive mindset, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's not interested, and I'm like, dude, like if you're a fan, if you're a huge Zelda fan, like you say you are, no matter what, you will drop and do that, you know what I mean? But since you know he's into the competitive whatever, it's like he can't get out. It's hard for him to be interested, even though he knows he'll like it. That's the thing. I know, and he knows himself that he'll like it, right? But he can't like it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I think in order to break from that cycle, which I feel like I'm slowly doing, is remember why you first started playing competitive games. When you first started as a kid, it's because you enjoy competing with others, not because, again, the results, you know. And now at this age, we gotta get this, we gotta, you know. So yeah, you have to just remember where you started from.
It's really hard, especially now. But
yeah, it's really hard because like any game is competitive.
yeah,
You know? Any game.
And they're designed to be addicting as well.
Yeah.
Like the freaking season resets or the rank resets
They
every
do it on
3 months.
purpose.
Like, it keeps you glued, man.
Yeah.
Man. But another thing real quick, I remember the last few tournaments I went to when I fought Agent Sohar and EBK, extremely tough matches, and I lost both of them. I remember taking off my headphones and I was like, dude, that was a lot. I told them that was so much fun. That was crazy games. And then what do other people do? They smash the controller. They flick off the monitor. I hate this freaking game. So that's what I'm saying. How many times have you seen someone have an extremely intense game and say, damn, that was fun? Not a lot, because I do feel that a lot of people in the competitive scene lost the true meaning of what it is to compete. So.
Yeah.
You know what game reminds me of that mindset? Gets me to that mindset? Splatoon. Splatoon 3.
Splatoon.
It's a lot of fun. Like the ranked, it's fun. Like I think what helps is that like it's cartoony and you know, but it's the ranked, the competitive scene is like it's there, man. But it's a lot of fun when you play it. Like I have a lot of fun with it. So like whenever I need a break, but I still want that competitive feeling, that's what I hop onto.
Yeah, I remember that what you said go when you fought EBK and stuff like that. And you were like, yeah, like it was really hard, but man, it was fun. I was like, what the heck? Like it was so weird.
Dude.
And then not only like moments before that, I had to play someone, and then he hit his controller because he lost because he has Z'd. And I was like, whoa, you know. And then I go to you, and then you say that, I'm like, what the hell? Like,
dude, it is an amazing feeling playing someone like in that situation, and even losing. You're like, dude, that was so much fun, and I haven't felt that in forever. So having that mindset instead of thinking about the results feels great, dude.
Yeah, that's so true. Even single player games should be like that.
yeah,
Like you shouldn't just play a game because someone tells you it's good and like you have to finish it. Or even if you are enjoying a game, like if you're like most of the way in and you're like, man, like I don't really feel like I already feel like I played enough. You know, like you don't have to finish it. You know, because you already had fun experiencing all the different chapters and stuff. So even that's worth it. Yeah, because you still have fun, still experienced it and everything.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games that you can 100%, you know, you know, and you know you don't have to. Just play your style and that's it. Like don't worry about it. Like there's some people who are dedicate themselves. Like there's this YouTuber called The Completionist.
Oh yeah.
He 100%'s like any game, you know.
And that's competitive mindset right there.
Yeah. And it's just like like he tells you how many hours it took him and all the work that it took him, and sometimes it doesn't seem like he had fun. And it's like, well, but in reality for him that's fun. But when you hear him talk about it, you're just like, that doesn't sound like fun to me, you know? Like I just want to play the game. want to play the story, and that's it, you know. So it's like you don't have to like play how other people want you to play. Just play it the way you want to play it, you know. Play it until you feel like you got your money's worth, or you got your like whatever, you know, like you're fulfilled.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then kind of like what Goat said, he wants to go back and play the other ones. And sometimes like, oh, I don't know where I left off or whatever. Like, you could just, if you want, you could just like, oh, okay, you know, I'm gonna play this one, and then I'm gonna try to finish it, and if I can, well, it's fine. But if you feel like, oh, I don't want to go back or whatever, like maybe just if you're gonna start it, either try to get the most out of it at that time, and then move on, or if you want to finish it before you move on to the next one, like you could do that, plan it a little bit like that, so you won't feel like you know, I don't want to do it, or this and that, or have it halved or whatever, you know. But just plan a little bit better. That's what I'm doing. Because with Tears coming out, like I don't want to play big games right now because it's coming out, obviously. So and I know I won't finish it because I know I'll focus on that one instead. So that's why, you know, I'm just kind of chilling right now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm trying to finish Resident Evil 4 so I can then play Tears of the Kingdom as well. But yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that
Resident
long.
Evil 4 is such a
I'm
good
telling
game.
you, the fact that like everybody's gonna be talking about it and experience it like at the same time, it's gonna make it so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I was telling you.
Discovery and everything. Yeah.
Crazy.
We'll play it all together and discover different.
That's all I'll say. Like, it's a commitment once you start a game.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when Javis was saying, like, we wouldn't play story mode games and stuff like that, it was just kind of really, for me, mainly, it was the commitment. Like I said, I would start a game, I wouldn't finish it, and then I want to go back and play it, but I already progressed on it, and I don't want to restart. That's kind of why I avoided playing Final Fantasy VII Remake for the longest, because I finished, like, 1/4 of it, and then I stopped playing it, and then I was like, I want to play it again, but I didn't want to start from the beginning. I was like, I was like 10 hours in, and I was like, do I really want to restart from hour 0? You know? And I was like, and the reason I did it is because I wasn't going to be consistent. So, like, it does take you to be dedicated and consistent with it. Like Gold, he plays it once, and then he'll probably pick it up again in 3 months. And, like, yeah, you'll finish it eventually, but you're not gonna enjoy the game as if you were to finish it, like, you know, sooner or like in a consistent manner. And it doesn't have to be where you have to play it every single day, but maybe play it like once or twice a week, or maybe, you know, 30 minutes a day, and then one day you dedicate a few hours to it where you actually play a good amount of it, but the rest of the week you probably play 20-30 minutes a day. You know, stuff like that, just to keep the consistency going. That's all that really matters, is the consistency and the commitment to do that. So it does get you to a mindset that, like, you really have to prepare your mind for it to dive into those games, because it's like, if you're not willing to dedicate 80 hours to it and within a few weeks, then, or a few months or whatever, then yeah, you're not gonna finish it, and you're gonna get bored. You're gonna want to move on to the next thing. And like games like League and Smash, like, the only thing, like, there's no story, there's nothing you have to remember. It's just kind of the muscle memory and relearning matchups if you forgot them. But that's it. Like, you can play League once a week and you'll be fine. You know, you can play Smash once a week and you'll be fine. Unless you want to go pro, right? That's a whole different story. But just for the casual competitive gamer, you don't have to play it every single day for 30 minutes or more. You don't have to play for hours to be, you know, a casual competitive gamer. But when it is story games, you do have to be consistent. So it's more of a commitment than it is. The story is good, and I get it, but it's also like, damn, it's a 40-hour game. So can I dedicate that in the next 2 to 3 weeks, 40 hours to finish this game? You know?
Yeah, I felt that with Ni no Kuni. Like, I was always worried about starting it and being like, man, it's like I know it's a long game. I know it is. Like, no one had to tell me, but just knowing like the type of game it was, I'm like, these games are long, and I've never been on a game like that with the story for so long. You know, maybe like competitive, because it's so easy to just keep going and going and going. You know.
Yeah.
For like Ni no Kuni, it was hard. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it slow, and and that's what I told Javi. So I was like, that at first I wasn't really into it. I was like, it's all right, like it's not bad. But like I was just like, let me just keep playing it. Let me just keep playing it, and maybe I'll like it. Maybe I'll enjoy it more. Because I did like the art style. I did like the aesthetic of it, the mechanics. But it's just like at the back of my head is like it's a big commitment. Like, do I want to keep going into this big commitment? So like the sometimes I would only play for like 10 minutes a day. You know what I mean? But like that consistency really helped me get through it, and then it got to the point where like I was playing it like an hour or 2 hours because I wanted to, you know, and I had the time. And it's like it didn't feel forced. It felt like what's gonna happen next. Like I was excited for the story. I was excited for the game and to finish it. And I was able to finish it. And I, honestly, like I didn't get all like the familiars or I didn't get all the items. I just got what I wanted. You know what I mean? And I got to enjoy it that way. But like it was a good game and I enjoyed it a lot. And it was a big commitment. I think in the end I ended up having like 70, 80 hours on it, something like that. So it was a lot. And I'm like, dang, like I never thought I would spend so much time on a game like this, you know, and enjoy it. You know what I mean? And I was able to, and I think that what Alex was saying, just you know, just be consistent, and if you like it, you'll like it, and you'll keep playing it. You know?
Yep. Yeah, I like that. And even like the some of the side quests and stuff like that, like they're boring. That's why I'm like, when you try to force it, like you did get bored because some of the side quests is boring. You have to go to this town, and you have to go across the map to go to that town, and then once you get it, you have to go back to the across the map to claim your reward and stuff like that. Like it is time consuming. It is boring, but that's why I like the Switch because I can do it whenever. Like, you know, like even now I could be playing it right away, and then if I need to go to the kitchen, like I can still be playing it. Where console, I'm forced to sit for a certain amount of time and to be able to play that, and even the boring stuff, like I'm forced to sit through it. To where the Switch, it's like maybe I go to the store and I'm in line waiting for like 30 minutes, and I can just play something, you know, on the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I like story games on the Switch better than in the console, just because I have that flexibility of like, oh, I mean, I had to wait anyway, so I might as well play it, you know.
I agree. I did play Ni no Kuni on the Switch and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, and you can play wherever. Like it's nice.
Yeah, because like even like I have the Star Wars game, the Last Jedi, and I got it for free, and I haven't played it because it's on PC, you know, like
Yeah,
it's just the fact that I can play it on my Switch, and that's why I like to buy games on the Switch, because I can just play it whenever, wherever, and I can just put it in sleep mode and then pick it up next, you know, and for like 10 minutes, 30 minutes, and then put it down and then pick it up, and like it's just easy and a lot more accessible and enjoyable, honestly, just being able to play it portably.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy when I hear y'all say big commitment, and for me, watching y'all play those competitive games is a bigger commitment. I'm like, what? 80 hours is nothing compared to what y'all do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Thousand hours in
hundreds.
Apex.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know how that, you know, like I can't comprehend that in my head because I'm like, wait, what? You know?
Well,
and then the thing is, I get it. Like I know what Alex meant, where you know, slow paced and this and that and stuff like that, right? And I could say, if you do commit, and depending on the game that you want to get, it's worth it because there's an ending, and then at the end you will feel satisfied compared to competitive gaming where it's endless. You know, there's no end to it. So it's like, if you commit to, for example, committing to Resident Evil 4, once it ends, he'll feel accomplished to that game. It's like, okay, and if you don't look at how many hours, it's just like, oh, I finished this game in this certain amount of hours, and it was worth it, I guess, you know? It was worth it compared to 80 hours playing League and your same rank. I don't know, like, for me, I feel like, okay, well, 80 hours, same rank, it's kind of like, well, what was the better commitment, I guess, you know? That's just how you see it. but obviously I'm not in y'all's shoes in the competitive thing. It's just from the outside, I see it as like that, you know? Like, okay, well, what was the commitment in those 80 hours in that competitive game compared to 80 hours on this story game? You know, that's how I see it.
But it's mostly like I said, like story games. The commitment is that if you stop playing it for a few weeks, you're gonna forget where you left off, or you're gonna forget the story or parts of the story, so where you don't fully enjoy the game. Where competitive, like any competitive game, the controls are always the same thing. Like once you learn the controls, they don't change. You have your control scheme; they never change unless you change them, right? Story games, all the controls are always changing. Sometimes you attack with R. Sometimes with the like circle. Sometimes you attack with X. Like each game is different, so you have to remember the control schemes. You have to remember the story. You have to remember where you left off. Maybe you're doing a side quest where you left off and now you're lost and you know what's going on. You don't even remember who's your strongest character, who's your weakest. You know, you don't remember this stuff when you stop playing a game and then you want to pick it up again. Whereas other games that are competitive only, everything is the same. So even though yes, you dedicate more hours to them, because it gives you that feeling of like, all right, one game done, let me play another one. Let me play another one. I lost. I need to play one until I win. Or you win and you want to keep playing because you get that satisfaction right away. You get that satisfaction in short terms that you want to keep playing. Whereas story mode, like as you're immersed into the story, like you do get that satisfaction. And like you said, when you finish the game, it feels really, really great because you're like, that was a beautiful story. That ending was awesome. You know, especially if it has a sequel to it, you're like, I can't wait for the next game. It's just kind of like a show. But during the process, there is a lot of boring parts. Like some side quests are boring, but you still have you know you don't have to do them, but you want to do them because you want to find out what leading. Even if it's a small scene, you want to see that scene, right? But the commitment is I have to keep playing this consistently to where. Casual competitive, you don't necessarily like. I started playing League once a week, and I'm still good at it. Like, whereas, it doesn't require me to put so much attention to it to still have fun with it and still be good at it at my level. Obviously, I'm not the best. I'm not like Barnard level because I would have to play a lot more and be more consistent with like the actual training part of it, and I just play just to play. But for my level, like I'm still decent, even if I play it 7 times a week or 1 time a week. And that's why it's not as committed. It's not as a commitment as it is to play a story game.
Yeah, because you do end up spending more time on those games most of the time, like Overwatch or Apex and all that. But it's the fact that you can just pick it up whenever, wherever you left off, and just play. Like. The way I think of it is kind of like mindlessly play it. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to think too much about it. You just pick up where you left off. I mean, you can pick up where you left off on a story game, but then you forget. Like, well, what was I doing? Like, why did I stop playing it? And I had that with Dark Souls on the Switch. I had gotten it, and I played it when I first got it, and then I was just like, wait, well, like, where am I? Like, how do you roll? Like, how do you attack? Like it's just different, and that's like I get Alex's point, and I agree. It's just easier to just pick up a game and a competitive game because it's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah.
And there is changes in competitive games, but it takes so long for it to be drastic. Like for example, like Apex, right? Like if I play Apex now, I'm gonna be lost because I haven't played it in years. Because there's been so many changes, new champions and new maps and stuff like that. I'm gonna be completely lost. I'm probably not gonna want to play it. I'll probably play it for like a few minutes and then get bored because I don't understand it.
Yeah.
But it took years for it to get to that point. For story games, it could just take a few weeks to a few months, and then you're like, I don't want to play it no more because I don't even know where I left off. So it's gonna take years for a competitive game to completely change to where story games it's a shorter term for it to be because it's constantly changing throughout the story.
Yeah, it's always fun getting better at story mode games too.
Mm-hmm.
The what?
It's always fun getting better at story mode games too.
Oh yeah.
Like a Dark Souls game. Like eventually you'll become so good at rolling and parrying and fighting that it's like, dang, like in the beginning, like this was impossible, but now like, you know, you're like rolling everywhere, parrying everything.
Yeah, I saw Gold yesterday. He's fighting a boss. And he died. He did some dumb decisions, and then he tried again, and then was it like the third time?
Yeah,
he just beat it.
Everything was clicking like crazy.
Yeah, I was like, what the heck?
It's so much better. Yeah, it's really
back
cool.
then, the Gold back then, he's like, I just want to hurry up. Like, I just want to. No, he's like, okay, we got it. Like, okay, we got it. Third time, I was like, just did it like nothing. I was like, oh, okay. He's actually understanding it.
Dude, I saw Leon do a suplex. I think that it's called. Dude, that animation was badass. I don't know how I did it, but I just snuck up behind someone and just suplex. Like, dang, that was really cool.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Dude, it was badass. Yeah.
Well, that's the end of it. The last thing I wanted to ask y'all is, what are y'all playing currently?
Advance Wars.
Oh, dude, you got it?
Yeah, I've been playing it.
Oh man, I was like, it's either Advance Wars or Tears of the Kingdom, but I have to go with Tears of the Kingdom, man.
Yeah, you can wait on it, like, but it is fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely.
There's a lot of things that I forgot about it, how I play, because I haven't played it in a while. But I was like, dang, like, this is pretty fun, yeah.
Since the Game Boy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Right now I'm playing Resident Evil 4 and Celeste. I'm thinking when I finish Celeste, I might play Mage Seeker. I don't know if you heard Bonin talk about it. It's a game about a champion in League of Legends. It's like a little kind of like a story like Celeste.
Oh yeah. I heard it was good.
Yeah, I'm thinking of playing that one after Celeste.
I think I'm gonna get it too. Actually, it looks really good. Yeah.
I like that they're doing that.
On Steam. Yeah. Damn, 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I heard it was really good.
Wow.
I'm playing Ni no Kuni.
Yeah. You think you're gonna finish it before Tears or no?
Yeah, I think so.
What part are you on?
I'm getting the stones.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting the right now I'm dealing with the dragon being heartbroken.
Yeah.
I'm in that part.
You're pretty far in.
Yeah, I think I'm almost done with it. Maybe like another few hours, like 10, 20 hours more. I think I'm 30 hours.
Yeah, I think you're like 20 hours away, maybe.
Yeah, because I think the story mode itself is 30 hours. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
pretty deep in it, but there's some aspects that I wish would have been better. Like 30 hours in, and I barely got travel. Like that kind of stuff was kind of like.
Yeah, I mean it's a PS3 game, so
yeah,
you know, so it had those modern things.
Yeah, and then the other one was like the mechanic that they added. I think it was probably halfway into the game where it was like where you put defend all or attack all. Like, because my companions kept on dying because I couldn't defend with them or dodge until you fight Shadar, and then SA is like, yeah, it would have been easier if we could just all defend at the same time. It's like, well, yeah, shit, it would have been easier, and then they give you the mechanic to do that. I'm like, bro, it's like halfway to the game, and I barely get the mechanic to defend all. I was like, what the? Because I was like, oh, maybe I have to switch between characters, because like I would do Oliver defend, and I would switch to Esther and defend, but then Oliver would start attacking, and then he'll get hit with the critical, he'll die, and I'm like, bro, what the hell? But it's at the halfway point where they give you that mechanic to defend.
I thought that mechanic was always there, no?
No. After you fight Shadar at the boat?
It was already there the whole time.
It was there the whole time. They just never told you how to use it.
No, it says no. After you fight him, they're like, what's his called? The Swain guy. He's like, it would have been easier if we could just all defend at the same time. And then Trippy tells you, oh yeah, if you press this button, you can defend all. Like, fucking assholes.
But honestly, most of the time it doesn't even work, man.
Yes, it does.
Well, not for me. Like, I would put defend on a boss, and then they would all die, and I'm like, what the heck?
It was a timing thing, for sure. Like, you had to do it.
Because it would work sometimes, but then sometimes like they're trying to do a move before they defend. I'm just like, why?
Oh yeah, if they're in the middle of a move, it won't do it. That's why you have to do it. Like,
I think I would do it too early when they were like trying to do a move or whatever.
What about you, Christian?
Right now,
Chill.
I'm playing Metroid Prime.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
I want to
And
get it.
It looks amazing on the Switch.
Yeah, I got it, but I have not started it, yeah.
I love the OLED, man. It just makes any game look good. Even like the classic looking
Yep.
games.
Yeah, the OLED
Really
makes it
good.
so much better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
People sleeping on it.
Yeah, I'm trying to finish Metroid Prime, so when Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I can put my full attention on that one.
Yeah, so-
Another game. Hold on, sorry. Another game that I actually thought about getting again was because when I was little, I really loved Donkey Kong Country. I thought about getting Tropical Freeze. I know it's kind of old, but that's also a game that I've thought of like maybe I should play it, but I don't know. It's maybe later after I play the games that I mentioned.
Yeah, I never played that one. That one's rated pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I heard
honestly, it
it's
was
good.
really good.
It's on the Wii
Yeah,
U.
it's
It's
good. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
port. Yeah.
I don't know why it's so expensive though. Why is it still 60?
Nintendo.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Nintendo, dude.
it should not be
Uh,
60 still.
So what I hear is that the cartridges are harder to make than just your typical CDs.
Yeah.
So the
80 nuts. Yo.
yes. So they're worth more. So that's why they don't really do discounts a lot in their, especially their first party games. That's just how it is.
And then
You
that
know-
argument you gave about they can't make the digital one cheaper, right?
Yeah, no. It has to be,
Okay.
yeah. There is some sales on the digital, but I mean,
You'll
it's not really
find
that
al-
much.
Yeah, but you mostly find a lot of deals digitally.
Oh.
Digital?
Yeah, like Metroid Prime, I think it was on sale. It was like a $10 discount or $5, I don't remember.
Mhm.
And then like, I think Breath of the Wild was like $35 or 40, something like that. And I'm like, you'll never find it like that
Physical.
on a sale, physical new. You know, maybe pre-owned, you can get it. But I think like I would recommend getting the GameStop Pro. Was it the membership? You'll pay $14 for a whole year, and you get points all the time. Especially when you buy and buy and buy, you get points as well, and you can use those points to get discounts. And like that's how I got Metroid Dread. It had just came out. I bought it pre-owned. It was, instead of the $60, it was like 45. And then I had I had 20k points, which every 1,000 it's $1 off. So I had $20 off. So I got it for like 20 something, 25, 28. So it's like that's the only time I can get like discounts on Switch games,
Yeah.
because Nintendo never
Yeah.
dropped the price. They never drop the price, and that's the only time I can really get discounts. And even though like I used my points, even for that purchase, you still get like full points back. Like you'll get like if you actually bought it for 45. You know, so I would recommend that if you're really looking to buying physical. Or if digital has really good sales, but I'd rather have physical copies. I like the physical.
Yeah, physicals are good, especially with Nintendo Switch. The cartridges are gonna be worth more than your CDs and any other console. The last thing for me, when I'm playing Xenoblade 3, the DLC came out. Shadow dropped, and I've been playing that. It's a conclusion of every Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2, and Xenoblade 3. They're connecting everything and ending the saga. So you see Shulk and Rex. Like Rex is the one where Pyramithra comes out in. And then you see the new character from this one. And then you see Shulk as an adult. And man, he looks crazy, man. He has one arm, a robot arm. So he only has
Damn.
one arm. And I still don't know why. They haven't showed why. You just start off like that. So he only fights with one hand. And dude, he looks so cool, man. If they make another Smash game, man, he'll look really cool in that one, dude.
Oh, that's crazy.
But yeah, like I'm really enjoying it, and hopefully, well, I'm pretty sure I could finish it before, because obviously Tears. So I'm committed right now to that one, to finish that one, and then play Tears. It'll be fun playing with all of y'all. And then after that, Final Fantasy 16 will, that's the other one.
Oh yeah.
And then Smash, obviously, doing those money matches with gold.
Oh.
That's pretty fun,
Yeah.
dude.
You know what game I thought? I don't know, man. I didn't think this game was gonna be so much fun, but Minecraft Dungeons, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Me and my wife already passed it.
Wow.
It's
you
like,
passed it?
dude, we already passed it.
Is that the new one or the other one?
No, Legends just came out.
Legends, okay,
Dungeons is like the Diablo kind of play style.
Yeah.
Diablo,
Yeah, dude, it's so much fun. It's like it's the same play style, but it's a lot more simplified. And man, I was like, it's a Minecraft game. Like, how much better can it be? I just wanted like a game that me and my wife could play. But man, like it was pretty good. It was really good. It was a lot of fun. And we just finished it yesterday. We just finished the story, and the fact that like she likes to play games, but she's more into like Crash Bandicoot and the thing like Animal Crossing and Fortnite. Like those are the only 3 games she touches. Like she don't play anything else. and then we started when I started playing that game. She's like, "Oh, I want to give it a try." So we played it, and we were both like hooked on it.
That's
and like
a fun
it's a lot of fun.
co-op game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to pick up and just keep playing and all that. Like, it doesn't really have like a concrete story. Like, well, it kind of does, but like, you can just play without paying attention to the story. Like the story doesn't have a lot of meaning to it. It's just a fun game to play.
Yeah.
But I just finished that game.
So that's it for the podcast. We go around and say, Eddie, where can everyone find you?
What do you mean? Like social media?
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
your
If
address.
you have any, or if you want. Twitch.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Eduardo_Fernan. That's pretty much everything. Instagram, Twitter. I think Twitch as well. That's it.
That's it. Christian? You have nothing.
No, I don't have anything. I think just Facebook and Instagram. Instagram is just Godinez_33. Oh, I have a TikTok también. TikTok, I like to watch Fighting Gold and Animacast videos. They're pretty funny and pretty informative. I think on there it's just my first and last name, Christian Godinez33. And Instagram is Godinez_33, and then Facebook is just Christian Godinez.
Alright, and gold?
Fighting Gold. Pretty much on every social media, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, pretty much the same thing. Merch postponed, you can't get any more for now.
That was a limited.
Yeah, limited.
Limited edition.
Yeah.
Alex is off right now, so he can't. And then you can find me here, Twitch, YouTube. I have my socials right there. And yeah, I'm really enjoying making these videos for y'all. And hopefully we get the number up right now at 406. So let's keep going up, and hopefully. And that's it, guys. Catch you next one. Peace.
Thank you for having me, guys. Later.